Well, Friday night in Nashville, terrific coaches and outstanding programs facing off. Number 4 Texas facing the Vanderbilt Commodores. First meeting here in the Music City since 1907. Coach Jim Schlossnagel's team at 11-6 in conference play, and Tim Gorman's Commodores checking in at 500 at 9-9. Kevin Ingram alongside Andrew Harris. Drew Fan will join us in just a bit. Great to have you with us. Andrew, really important series for both these teams. We start the first of 3 on this Friday night. For Texas, you're trying to secure one of those top 8 national seeds. For Vanderbilt, you're trying to add to the resume and get back into the tournament for the 20th straight year. Yeah, if you're Texas, you're just trying to keep this train moving. For the Commodores, got a little bit of ground to make up here towards the end of the year. And, look at what's at stake for these two teams. You check this out for Texas, mentioned that 11-6 record. Vanderbilt at 500, those RPI numbers. Still some work to do for Vanderbilt. Hey, you look at Texas right there, RPI at 3. Again, just trying to keep that train moving. For the Commodores, little work to do. Got 4 weekends left to make up that RPI, sitting at 71 right now at 99 in the SEC. Took a big jump after winning 2 out of 3 against Kentucky last weekend. On the mound for Texas will be the left-hander Dylan Volantis. He came out of the bullpen last year as a freshman, and this season moved into the starting rotation. It's been terrific. Yeah, moved into the starting rotation and also moved into that Friday night role against Alabama and was fantastic. 12 strikeouts, has a big curveball. We'll see him tonight against Connor Fennell. And you take a look at the pitching matchups over the weekend. Volantis and Fennell tonight. Riojas tomorrow for Texas, and another good matchup coming up on Sunday. And here is Connor Fennell, junior from Londonderry, New Hampshire. So he makes the start. Been the usual Friday night guy. 11th start of the season. And Andrew, he really works fast, brings the pace. And when he has it going, you'll see him have that good rhythm. Yeah, keeping the ball low is his big thing. And he's got a really nice fastball, kind of a lower arm slot, gets some good arm side run on that thing. He also likes to play high with the fastball, gets a lot of swing and miss with that ball up in the zone. Aiden Robbins leading things off, top 10 in the SEC in several categories. This team 3rd in the SEC in batting average, over 300, 62 home runs for the Longhorns as we get ready for game 1. The Doors and the Horns here in Nashville. Mentioned the first time in over a century they have played here in the Music City. They met in other places, though, including Omaha over the years. Also the first meeting as SEC opponents. Robbins ready, and so is Fennell. The first pitch is in for a strike to start the night. Robbins having a great year at 368, 15 home runs and 41 RBIs, the junior. Homered 8 times in 17 SEC games, same as the leadoff man for the Commodores. Fisted out of play to make it 0-2. Yeah, and the top of this order is very front-loaded. I mean, Robbins, Tenney, and Pack. A lot of home runs up there. Like guys hit for average, too. And if you're Fennell, you really got to lock in here these first 3 guys. 5th in batting average in the Southeastern Conference entering tonight's play. Also top 10 in hits. Out here to start the night. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and a good start for Connor Fennell. A nice pitch here. A little change-up action right in the inside corner, right underneath the bat of Robbins. Kind of see the double take from Robbins saying, yeah, man, didn't see that one out of the hand very well. Another good power threat in the number 2 spot for Texas. That's Carson Tenney. Junior catcher stepping in with 1 out. Tied for 7th in the SEC in home runs with 14, and also just outside the top 10 in OPS. Junior from Castle Pines, Colorado. You see what he's done in SEC play. He's been even better. Fennell continues to throw strikes, 0-2. And that's what he does. He's going to fill up the zone. And that's why he's been able to go so deep in these games here this season. Is just very, very efficient. 0-2 from Fennell. Hit well down the left field line, on a line, and off the wall. Tenney digging towards second, and he will be in with a 1-out double. Out in front of that pitch and hit it hard. Yeah, that was the exact same pitch he threw to Robbins. This time, though, just left it a little bit up in the zone. Tenney was right on it. Was on time for the fastball away, was able to hit the off speed and react to it, get the hands out, and probably put a dent in that wall out there in left field. The ball was torched. Hit it pretty hard. It got out there in a hurry. So the number 3 man in the batting order, Anthony Pack, checks in with an average of 348. 13 doubles, 5 homers. He's driven in 37. Texas a chance here with 1 out to take an early lead here in game 1. Fastball for a strike. Pack carries a 12-game hit streak, had 7 hits in the Alabama series, including 4 for 5 in game 2. Had 2 doubles and drove in 2 runs. The series that saw the Longhorns win 2 out of 3. last weekend against the Crimson Tide. Out in front, 0-2. So Fennell's gone 0-2 to the first 3 hitters. Leading at second is Tenney after that 1-out double. 0-2 the count to Pack. Got him swinging. 2 strikeouts for Fennell. Yeah, check out the usage of pitches for Vanderbilt's number 39 this season. Fastball and changeup, the primary options here.
Yeah, we saw him use the 2 changeups, got down the first 2 batters, and use the changeup. That one, the fastball, like up in the zone. That's really his out pitch. That fastball that kind of rides up there. It's only 89 miles an hour. Sometimes goes up there like 90, but it doesn't really seem like it's going to blow by you. But as a hitter, it looks really good coming out of the hand, and by the time you swing at it, you can't get the barrel to it.
Shortstop Adrian Rodriguez, switch hitter and sophomore from Flower Mounds, missed a little time with an injury. He had a hand issue, went 2 for 11 in the Alabama series, but another guy having a good year, 263. Swing and didn't get it, 1-1. So freshman All-American last season. 2 outs and Tenney still at second. 2 strikeouts for Fennell to go with the double. Shade Rodriguez a little bit toward left in the outfield. Swing and a foul ball makes it 1-2.
Yeah, it's 2 changeups right back to back from Fennell to Rodriguez. We'll see if tries to change the eye angle, go back to that fastball up in the eye zone.
Nice crowd settling in here at Hawkins Field, hoping the ones in black and gold anyway, that Fennell can record 1 more strike and leave a man stranded in scoring position. The 1-2. Down the left field line, in the air toward the bullpen, and will drop foul. Giving chase was Hampton, the left fielder. Couldn't get to it. And Rodriguez will come back for another 1-2 pitch.
Yeah, it looked like Fennell tried to get the fastball there, but didn't get it as high as he wanted, and a little bit closer towards the zone when Rodriguez puts a nice swing on it. Yeah, a lot closer to fair territory than I thought it was going to be down there, Kevin. I thought that was way out, but kind of came back into the field of play almost.
Fennell, as usual, is ready to throw. Rodriguez back in for another 1-2 offering. Tenney leads at second. Slow breaking pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 3. Connor Fennell working around a 1-out double by Carson Tenney. 3 strikeouts in the inning. Aiden Robbins to lead it off. Got the swing and miss. Anthony Pack, the lefty, and Adrian Rodriguez. Nothing for Texas. Vanderbilt coming up. A 1-out double was stranded at second. Texas with 1 hit. Vanderbilt coming up here in the bottom half of the first inning. Talked about Dylan Valantis, the left-hander for Texas at 6'6" and 220, a sophomore. He's out of Thousand Oaks, California. A semifinalist for National Pitcher of the Year. Got his 5th win against Alabama last time out. 6 innings, a 4-hit ball, 2 earned runs, a walk, and 12 strikeouts through 91 pitches last week as he makes start number 10, but a good pitch mix for number 99.
Yeah, the fastball is going to be, 92, 93, but yeah, the curveball, the sinker, a lot of downward action. The curveball is really hard to pick up. He hides it really well, and he throws it in any count that he wants, and that's been a really effective pitch for him all season.
5-0 record, 2.13 ERA facing this lineup as it's assembled by head coach Tim Corbin for the Vanderbilt Commodores, starting with Mike Mancini. 8 homers, 21 RBIs, been terrific in SEC play. Mancini, Johnston, and Holcomb in the Vanderbilt first. Team second in the league in home runs with 87 and third in OPS at 955 as a team. Had home runs at a record pace this year. The record is 100 and Vanderbilt is 13 away, and figure they have a great chance to get there. Still 4 weeks to go here in the season.
I think the biggest thing for the Commodores, though, Kevin, is just kind of putting it all together. The offense has been able to score runs, but it's just been the pitching that has not been able to, keep runs off the board. And so when they're able to put it all together, they are a tough bunch to face. And so to face and beat the Longhorns, they're going to have to really bring it here this weekend.
Yeah, The pitching for Texas is outstanding. The offense for Vanderbilt has been terrific as well. It's Mike Mancini leads it off, the senior out of Endwell, New York. Volantis sees Mancini hit one deep towards center field, but ranging back Robbins, plenty of room to make the catch. Deepest part of the yard, one out.
Yeah, just got underneath that one. A heck of a swing there from Mancini. And similar to the top part of the Texas order, for the Commodores, top part of this order, very seasoned and very talented as well. So you really got to bear down here, top of the order.
Brody Johnston, the Vanderbilt third baseman, a 9-game hit streak, 1 for 4 in the midweek game against Xavier, scored 3 runs, also had a walk after a couple home runs in the series at Kentucky last week, and the saw Vanderbilt take 2 out of 3. Sophomore from Ooltewah, who has become one of the best players in the SEC in the country for that matter. 6th with an average at .367. Also top 5 in hits, in doubles, and in at-bats.
Yeah, it's just such a quiet approach. There's not a lot to the swing. It just puts the ball in play and puts the ball in play hard every single time.
Put that one in play to the first baseman. Kerry Borba makes a play, goes to the bag. 2 outs. Casey Borba, I should say. Well, he's been good in the first inning. Throughout the season, only 1 hit allowed. That is excellent right out of the gates.
And that's got to give you some confidence, too, you know, as a team behind him. You know that your pitcher is always going to give you a quality start and always going to give you that first inning right off the right foot.
Hard hit ball off the bat of Braden Holcomb on 1 pitch. Bobbled by Mendoza, the second baseman, and safe at first. A 2-out base runner for the Vandy boys. Braden Holcomb hitting it hard on the first pitch, and we'll see how they score that play.
Kevin, we've seen this so many times where Holcomb is able to leg it out and cause a little bit of hesitation there in the infield. He gets down that line pretty well. Also, the turf, it's a little bit wet. It's kind of been spitting, so that ball maybe got on Mendoza a little bit quicker than he thought.
They do give Mendoza an error, so Holcomb reaches. 2 outs to Colin Barzy. Back in the lineup of the DH role. Pretty heavy right-handed lineup for Vanderbilt tonight. 3 for 11 in the series at Kentucky. Scored 4 runs. Hit his 7th home run in Game 3. That was the only home run he's hit this season that was not in the state of Texas. A pair of 3 home run games, both down in the Longhorn State. Lone Star State, I should say.
So what about playing teams that are from Texas?
Yeah, maybe that'll work out well.
Yeah.
Against the Longhorns. Behind the count here as Volantis bounces it up there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 with Holcomb down at first. Check of the runner and a swing and a miss. Foul tip into the mitt, and Vanderbilt is done in the first. An error and a man left. We have played 1 in Nashville. Game 1, the Doors and the Horns, no score. Friday night in Nashville, no score. Texas and Vanderbilt as we go to the second good pitching matchup tonight for Game 1. Kevin Ingram with a couple Vandy Boys alums here. Of course, you know Andrew Harris. Great to have Drew Fan with us, and this is really a big series, a big game, and some terrific pitching we expect to see here tonight.
Sure is. Fennell and Volantis, great to jump in. It's alumni weekend here. Good to see you guys, see some good baseball, and see some old teammates too.
And for this Vanderbilt team, this is really an important series.
It sure is. You know, they're right there. RPI trying to get a little bit better. Playing a top 5 RPI team in Texas sure can do the trick here after a few games.
Win a game or 2 here, and you rise on up in the standings. Swinging a foul ball off the bat of Ethan Mendoza. Texas second baseman, 271, 9 doubles, 8 homers, 34 RBIs for the junior. Texas has a hit. Tenney had a 1-out double in the first. Connor Fennell with 3 strikeouts. Fennell, as always, ready to throw a 1-strike pitch. Hit on a big hop. Charging is Johnston. Low throw, but dug out by Baldonado, 1 out.
And we saw Mendoza, just in the batting gloves, trying to change a little bit of the rhythm of Fennell. That pitch clock has definitely helped, but Fanner, I think we played with a few guys that the pitch clock would have very much disrupted their batting routines, if you know a few guys I'm talking about.
For sure, some human rain delays up there at the plate.
Here's Timo Becerra. He's the third baseman for Texas with 1 out. But I think overall the pitch clock has been a good thing for the college game. Kind of keeps the games moving a little bit.
For sure. Sometimes I worry, though, it goes too fast as a fan, right? I need this to take up a little bit of my Friday night. I don't need it to go too quick.
Not ready to go home yet. 1 ball count makes it 1-1. Becerra on the season, 288. He's homered 5 times and driven in 26. Two for 11, drove in a run in the series against Alabama last weekend. Breaking pitch finds a plate to make it 1-2. Becerra, a guy who transferred in from Stanford, where he was part of some terrific teams with the Cardinal. Lays off a pitch away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Becerra now. We'll see Larson coming up just a moment for Texas. Inning number 2. Off the end of the bat, up the middle, Waite charging, unloads quickly and gets Becerra at first, 2 gone.
A nice little change up there from Fennell, gets off the end of the bat. A heck of a job right here from Waite, coming to get it right in and out of the glove real quick.
It's got to be hard for a hitting lineup like this, Andrew, to face a pitcher who works so quick, but then who is able to manipulate his speeds and the sides of the plate all at the same time. So even if you time him up from his windup, he's still able to keep you off balance based on his pitch selection or where he's throwing it.
Ashton Larson, the left fielder for Texas, just short of 300. And you look at that good on-base percentage, trying to add to it. Fair ball down the right field line. Texas will have their second double so far in the first 2 innings, this time with 2 outs as Larson slides in safely.
Another ball off the end of the bat, but just put in the perfect spot right past Maldonado down there on the right field line. And easily in there at second base right out of the gate. But yeah, Fan, you were talking about, changing the speeds. And I mean, the fastball's only, 88, 89. And I was talking with Scott Brown at the beginning of the year about Fennell and some of his pitches that he was been working on. They said really been trying to develop that curveball, and they want it to be as slow as possible. They even call it the slow ball. So they were working on it a couple times, and it was a little bit too fast. I said, no, we want that thing slower. I mean, it's 70, 71 miles an hour, and so to be able to have that complement that 89 mile an hour fastball is super helpful.
Well, ball count here to first baseman Casey Borba. 1-1. Borba comes in at 290, double-figure home runs, 34 RBIs. 2 for 8 in the series against Alabama. Got off to a great start, had 9 home runs in the month of March. Out in front, 1-2.
There's another example of it right there, where he's just able to throw an off-speed pitch. You can see that changeup, 78, 79 miles an hour, just like that last one. And anytime you've got 10+ mile an hour speed difference between the fastball and changeup, and then you've got a cutter that can fit in there somewhere in the middle and a hard sinker, along with how he likes to push the pace, it's hard to time him up.
Trying to strand a man in scoring position for the second straight inning, and he does as he gets Borba to swing and miss. A base hit and 1 left. 4 strikeouts already for Connor Fennell. Vanderbilt and Texas, no score. Inning number 2. No score in the second. Texas with 2 hits, both doubles. Also committed a first inning error. Connor Fennell with 4 strikeouts to work around guys in scoring position. Talked about the RPI. Climbing up around the 70 range, really took a jump. Had the biggest jump in the country last week after that win against Kentucky taking 2 out of 3 up in Lexington. You see the sweep against Tennessee in March. That helped too. It has been a climb, trying to get back in range and keep that tournament streak going that stands at 19, trying to get to 20. And right at 500 in SEC play. Chance to really help yourself this weekend facing a good Texas team in the top 5. Not only in the national rankings, but in the RPI. Chris Maldonado in the lineup tonight at first base. Fouls one off. 250, 4 homers, 20 RBIs. A senior from Short Hills, New Jersey.
Yeah, Kevin, in last weekend, Commodores went up to Lexington. He just struggled playing on the road and had not had a lot of success. And to be able to get that series win on the road definitely helped. Then just by simply playing Texas this weekend and playing Alabama next weekend will definitely help that RPI. If they can come away with, you know, some wins these next 2 series, I mean, that RPI can definitely jump up there.
You get a little bonus point or 2 for playing on the road. That's a foul ball. Hard hit off the bat of Maldonado, but about 3 feet foul down the left field line. Come back, 1-2.
It's been great to see Maldonado get back into the rotation this year. I know he's had a long couple of years, but good to see him back and producing.
Yeah, injuries have held up his career after he had a fantastic freshman year. Missed most of 2024 with an injury. Came back and started hitting home runs right away this season. Won against LSU and homer in 3 straight games. 1-2 pitch. Volantis bounces it up. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tell you, I'm a little jealous that these guys get Jason Esposito as their hitting coach.
Right.
You know, Andrew and I had Espo as our teammate.
Right.
But I feel like maybe we could have hit some more home runs if Espo was our hitting coach at the time too.
Circling the bases a whole lot more. A 2-2 pitch. Maldonado takes away.
I always tell people that Coach Esposito was one of those guys that, you know, when you come in as a player, you know, and you watch him take infield, you think, man, he's much better than I am. And you see him swing the bat. I mean, he's just one of those guys that just made everything look so easy as a player. And he's been able to learn a lot at the pro level. And then he's been able to translate a lot of that to those hitters here. I spoke with him a few weeks ago and just talked with him about stuff that he talks to the guys about, you know, approach. And he said, we really don't do anything crazy. I mean, my thought process and kind of mantra with the guys was, we're not going to do anything crazy. We're just going to do the boring things really well. And that's, you know, making sure we have a good approach, and we're going to stick to that. And he really holds those guys accountable.
Payoff pitch. Maldonado out on strikes. Second K recorded by Volantis after Texas had a huge weekend in the strikeout department last week. All 3 games, double figures.
Now, when I think of Jason Esposito as the third baseman here at Vanderbilt, I think of that slow roller down the third baseline that he was so good at coming in and making a throw off balance to first base. But a funny story about that. So Jason was part of our 2011 draft class. As a junior, he went on and played in the, let's see, I guess the fall of 2012, Kevin, when all of those players who were drafted as juniors came back to keep finishing their degree. We may or may not have put an intramural softball team together for Vandy University. And so he was playing third base on this team. And so it's some student managers. I was on the staff at the time. So we're all playing, and we're playing some fraternity team. And I think they're kind of wondering, hey, who are these guys? And somebody hit a little slow roller down the third baseline, and Jason came in as he always did and just off balance, one-footed throw to first. And I think at some point in that play, they realized who these guys were and who Jason was at third base. And so their mindset changed a little bit after that. So that's always a funny story I think of when I think of Coach Esposito.
I thought you were going to say that they told him he had to go home after he made that play.
You know, we didn't qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah.
It wasn't because we didn't have enough wins. I think they were saying, like, you guys should pack it up for the fall.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Another guy's a terrific fielder, Riker Waite, batting right against the left-hander, fouls it off.
I mean, a couple years even before that, I remember, I mean, there was a team of Pedro Alvarez, David Price, and I remember walking by and thinking, there's a lot of money on this field right now. Like, I hope nobody gets a line drive to the face or anything.
Liner to right and caught. Terrific play. Going to the turf. Anthony Pack Jr. put a star next to that one as he robs Riker Waite for the second out of the second.
This is a heck of a play here by Pack. That ball that's like right at you, kind of the right eye line, it's very hard to know. Is it going to die? Is it going to stay up? But Pack comes in full extension, able to make the play.
That's a big gamble too. The ball gets by him. You got a runner standing on third base with less than 2 outs. Great play out there.
Took that one right off the turf. Terrific play. Rustin Rigdon, Commodore center fielder, with 2 outs. Rigdon on the season at .264. Pulls this one foul. 2 for 3, had a triple and also had the walk-off hit in the win against Xavier on Tuesday when Vanderbilt run ruled the Musketeers 11-1. 18 runs and 18 SEC games. Really versatile guy, but has found a home in center field. 1 strike as Volantis tries to get Vanderbilt in order, ahead in the count 0-2.
Good job back there by Tenney, sweeping that ball in, making it look a little bit better over the plate.
0-2 with 2 outs. Stays high. Rigdon is a switch hitter, but he's been batting left even against left-handers lately. Been a little banged up, and that's worked better for him during this stretch of the season. 1-2 pitch. Down and in for strike 3. Dylan Volantis doing what he does. He has looked outstanding so far with 3 strikeouts. Little help from his right fielder in the second. He gets Rigdon to finish off the frame. He'll score after 2 in the Music City. Well, starting pitchers have been as advertised so far. No score. Vanderbilt hosting 4th-ranked Texas as we go to the 3rd inning. 2 outstanding coaches in these dugouts. Jim Schlossnagle, his 2nd season leading the Texas program, 7 times to Omaha, and Tim Corbin been there 5 times, won it twice as head coach of the Commodores. These guys have faced off over the years a few times. Coach Schlossnagle was at Texas A&M. They swept the series back in 2024. Won 2 out of 3 here in 2022. Vanderbilt did beat him in 23 for the SEC championship, and the Commodores went 2-0 against TCU when Coach Schlossnagle was there in 2015, including 7-1 to reach the championship series.
2 big wins that season, both in Omaha, right?
That's right. 1-0 and 7-1. Pitch outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Josh Livingston. He's the DH for Texas tonight, making his 18th start of the season at .254. Vanderbilt also played Texas in 2014. Lost 4-0, but then won 4-3 in 10 innings to get to the championship series for the first time. On the ground, it is Mancini throwing out Livingston, 1 out. Back to the top for the dangerous Aiden Robbins. Came into tonight's play at .368 with 15 homers and 41 RBIs. Yeah, guys, it's interesting to me that these teams have not played in Nashville since 1907. This is the first time they played as SEC opponents.
How about that?
Up and in. 1 ball count here to Robbins. The series goes all the way back to 1900 when they split 2 games. They've played 17 times overall, counting tonight's game.
There's some secret games in there too, right? In the fall of 2010, we actually hopped on some sleeper buses here and drove to Austin. Played a couple of fall games down there.
Long drive, left field line, foul pole, and gone. Robbins sneaks it inside the pole to give the Longhorns the lead. His 16th home run of the season. 1-0 Texas.
You see Fennell kind of shaking his head. That was ball that went in on the hands and just kind of pulled his hands in, got the bat out there and got it out. You see only 91 miles an hour off the bat, but does the job there, the monster in left field.
Robbins came in top 10 in home runs.
Hit it just high enough, just far enough.
Off the bat from up here, it looked like it might hook and go foul, but it stayed fair enough to get inside the pole. Run in here with one out for Texas. Now it's Carson Tenney, who doubled, was stranded at second back in the first.
I was really excited to see Longhorns come in here to Hawkins Field, just because I grew up around Vanderbilt baseball, grew up watching the Commodores, and when Tim Corbin came in, was really trying to establish a culture and trying to establish a winning program. And in 2004, they were actually able to go to the Super Regional against Texas in Austin. And I remember I was actually traveling with my summer Little League team, watching those games at like a Ruby Tuesdays or something. But that was like the first big test. Okay, you've gotten your program, you've built the culture. Now you're going to go up against the big dogs. You're going to go up against Texas. And that was a really good testing point for Tim Corbin and his program.
Maldonado sees it go off his glove, and safe at first. Tenney has been on base twice. After the home run by Robbins, Tenney reaches. Be a man at first with one out.
Yeah, I thought Maldonado might have had an opportunity to take a little bit of a drop step and extend that hop to where he didn't have to kind of catch it in between, but at least just knocked it down and kept Tenney at first base.
Fly ball, third base side, behind third. It's going to be the shortstop Wade over to make the catch. He got there quickly, and Pack is retired. There's a little more about the series. Mentioned this is the 17th meeting. Vanderbilt leads 9-7. First time they've played as SEC opponents, with Texas joining the league last year. Texas winning that Super Regional series. They won 15-3 and 10-2 in those games in Austin. As Andrew talked about, the first ever Super Regional for Vanderbilt. And that seemed like such a huge deal at that point for this program to get that far and advance and have a chance to play that series.
I remember even in our 2011 season when we made the first World Series in school history, we thought that was such a big deal, and it was, right? We dogpiled and celebrated. But I remember we always talk about how when Texas made the World Series, they were just so used to it, they just shook hands. It was just another game for them, and so to be able to play,
Hard hit ball off the glove of Wade, trying to make a diving play, couldn't quite hang on. Texas has runners at first and second after the smash by Anthony Pack the other direction.
Waite has been so good in the field. I think he's top 10 among shortstops in defensive runs saved so far this year. And full extension there, just couldn't come up with it when he hit the ground.
It's almost like the Bobby Witt Jr. catch that you see.
Yeah.
Adrian Rodriguez, he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. One out threat here for Texas. Robbins hit the solo home run after Livingston was retired on a ground ball. Then the next two have reached. Infield hit by Tenney, and Pack a single the other way. Can put some pressure on you.
Yeah, but we were talking about 2004, Commodores finally make it to the Super Regional. In 2011, finally made it to the College World Series. Just those kind of baby steps to finally get there to the dance. And then you look up, Tim Corbin won national championships in 2014 and 2019. And now you fast forward here to 2026. These are two of the premier programs in college baseball facing off against each other. So it's pretty crazy to think about going back all the way to 2004 when these two teams faced off in that Super Regional.
Rodriguez at first, I should say. Pop foul off the bat of Mendoza. He's 0 for 1. Back with a pop out for the second out. Those milestone wins over the years and leading to even bigger things, both these teams. Championship programs. 0-2 the count here to Mendoza. Fennell's been able to come up with some big strikeouts. Not that time. Fanning 4 through the first 2 innings, 1-2. Bouncer, Johnston, play is to first in time. Throws out Mendoza. 3 hits, 2 left for Texas, but the big swing. Aiden Robbins, the Texas leadoff man. For the 16th time this season, just inside the pole, Texas leading 1-0 in the third. Well, it's Eagles night here at Hawkins Field, and those 2 young men are playing along to the Hotel California guitar solo. I guess one is Don Felder and one is Joe Walsh.
Yeah, they're locked in on it.
They have some Eagles-themed menu items, and of course the concert will be here next door in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tomorrow, Eagles play over at First Bank Stadium. Bottom of the order coming up for Vanderbilt, it'll be Reynolds, Hampton, and Mancini against left-hander Dylan Volantis, who has allowed only 1 base runner, and that was Braden Holcomb, reaching on a 2-out error in the first. Reynolds, the Commodore catcher, the freshman, he has been excellent behind the plate. And at the plate, he's hit for a .252 average with 4 home runs and knocked in 22. Two balls and no strikes.
Started all 18 SEC games, 19th tonight for Vandy. And it's just so impressive as a true freshman, Kevin, that can do something like that. I feel like my freshman year, I redshirted. Second year, I barely could tie my shoes, I felt like. So for Corbin, you know, he's thrown out 12 base runners already this year, which is fantastic. He's got some defensive runs saved from a blocking standpoint. But just his ability to control a pitching staff and work with Scott Brown has been so impressive to watch.
That one takes a hop and goes foul.
It's a lot of different personalities, a lot of different age groups for you to come in as a local commit from Clarksville, Tennessee, and to I know he's got a lot of help in the dugout to help with that, but a lot of that's on his shoulders, and he's performed very, very well so far.
I remember talking to Coach Corbin early in the season. He's like, this guy has advanced catching skills, and we've seen it throughout the year. They gave him a night off against Xavier in the midweek game, and you talk about Drew. I mean, he's played every game in SEC play. You got to give him a break every now and then.
For sure. It's a long season, but I mean, just getting reps in the box against a pitcher like Volantis, working with somebody like Fennell, he's going to be able to absorb all of this information, and then in his next few years here, be able to pass that along to the pitchers that come in after him too.
2-2 the count, leading off the third. Volantis gets a called third strike. He used the fastball right down the middle to sit down Reynolds. That's 4 Ks.
Yeah, Volantis, he hides the ball really well. If you look at the arm action, I mean, it's like all the way behind him, and then just kind of pops out from behind his ear as a hitter. It's really hard to pick up, yes, the fastball, but also the curveball. You can see the use of the curveball is pretty dominant here tonight. Throws it in a lot of different counts.
So interesting, just 12% of a fastball usage too.
Left on left, Will Hampton lines out to third. 1 pitch, and he is retired as Becerra makes the catch. Hampton, the hero of last Sunday's win in Lexington when he hit a grand slam in his first career start. 2 outs and back to the top. Mike Mancini flat out his first time up, 0 for 1. Just deals a strike. Start off this at bat for Mancini. SEC play just short of 300 and 299 overall for the season. But 8 home runs in conference action. 21 RBIs, both inside the top 5.
I feel like the offense was really working well through the season, but it took off to a different level in SEC play when Mancini came along and this power surge he's in the middle of.
And also moving him up here in the top of the order. I really like him up there in the top of the order. I mean, yes, he can do a lot with the bat from, you know, a home run standpoint, but just having his senior leadership up there, I think, has been super helpful.
Second straight inning. Siders retired in order as Mancini grounds out to Borba at first. Dylan Volantis looking good so far. 1-0 Texas after 3. Well, Well, rain has held off so far for the most part here at Hawkins Field in Nashville. A little bit of threatening weather as we go to the top half of the fourth. Only run in the game so far, and Aiden Robbins' home run in the third for the Longhorns. You figured there'd be a pretty good contingent of folks in burnt orange following the Horns, their first series here in Nashville as SEC opponents. Becerra, Larson, and Borba coming up for Texas in the fourth against Connor Fennell, the Commodore right-hander. Becerra 0 for 1. Ground out to Wade at shortstop his first time up. I don't know that you could find two starting pitchers that are much different than these two tonight between Connor Fennell and Dylan Volantis. Both effective. This line toward left center, going to drop for a base hit. Coming over is Hampton to get to it. Becerra takes a turn and stays put at first. Leadoff man on base here in the fourth.
When we talk about Volantis, getting put into that starting rotation after being out of the pen last year, pretty similar to Connor Fennell's role last year coming into this year as well. Last year was in a bullpen role until kind of the middle of the year when at Auburn they had an opportunity to kind of put him in that starting role. Did a really good job. In Auburn, he had an opportunity to come out of the pen and did a really good job, and then they put him in the starting role against A&M and were able to put him all the way through towards the end of the year and had a fantastic year, and he's kind of rolled straight into that.
Well, the wild pitch. Becerra took second, and then an errant throw by the catcher Corbin Reynolds. A rare mistake by the Vandy backstop, and Becerra goes to third with nobody out.
Looked like Mancini may have given up on that ball a little bit, thinking that Corbin wasn't going to throw it, and then wasn't there when it sailed on him a bit.
You look at the fielding for this Vanderbilt team, 38 errors now in 43 games. But quite a few of those have been by pitchers on pickoff throws. Really in the run of play, the fielding has been good.
It's been a lot of throwing errors. It hasn't been like muffed balls, into the glove. It's just been errant throws, which is very uncharacteristic of a Commodore defense.
Well, Fennell needs a strike, can't get it. Larson leans away. It's ball four. Runners at the corners with nobody out. First walk issued by the Vandy right-hander. Little work on Casey Borba, who's 0 for 1, struck out his first time up to strand a base runner at second in the second. So Larson's been on twice, a double and now a walk.
I think it speaks to the depth of the Texas lineup where you can have your first baseman batting 8th with double-digit home runs. A really impressive lineup coming in here to Nashville this weekend.
Down at the bottom with 10 home runs and 34 RBIs, puts it down, trying to squeeze home a run. It works. The only play is to first. Nicely done by Borba. Becerra comes in to score to make it 2-0 Texas.
Yeah, the safety squeeze with runners at first and third is pretty tough to defend here. He put it in the right spot. The runner at third base, make sure it's down. Easy score there. Great play the call there for Texas.
A good job by Borba getting it down. We just talked about how he has double-digit home runs, then is able to turn around and do a safety squeeze to get the second run on the board here early for the Longhorns too.
Handles the bat well for his 35th RBI. One out. Larson went to second. Livingston at the plate, 0 for 1. Grounded out to Mancini in his previous at-bat last inning. Who transferred from Wichita State. Only made one appearance in the series against Alabama last weekend, went 0 for 3 in game 1. But definitely had some preseason accolades and really had a good run during his time at Wichita State. 26 home runs in 2 seasons. So some power here as well at the bottom of the lineup. That one goes off the mid of Reynolds, but not far enough, and Larson stays put at second.
I will say I spent a summer playing summer ball in Wichita. It's a smart move to go to Texas and go to Austin. Yeah, that's all I'll say about Wichita. But Wichita State, amazing program. But yeah, the city.
Yeah, a little more to do in Austin.
A little bit more to do.
2-1 pitch, hit deep, right field. Holcomb on the warning track, jumps, and he made the play. Larson tags and goes to third. That was terrific as Holcomb on the track took away extra bases from Josh Livingston, 2 outs.
Great job getting back there quick enough to feel out, have a good idea where that fence was, where the warning track is. Leaving his feet. I tell you, when that ball was hit off the bat, guys, I didn't know with that shorter right field in there if this place was going to hold it or not.
Yeah, I was with you. I thought that one might be in the screen off the bat. Well, the guy at the plate has left the yard. Aiden Robbins, a solo shot in the third, 1 for 2. Hits this one deep, left center field, giving chase Rigdon, and that is the second homer of the night for Aiden Robbins. Drives in a couple more, and Texas jumping in front. A 4-0 advantage here in the fourth. Home run number 17.
Man. Robbins knew he was probably going to get a fastball from Fennell. Fennell trying to get ahead, and Robbins was right on time with it. Perfectly timed. Take a look at the swing. That's just a fastball up in the zone. Gets the barrel to it, and it gets out of here in a hurry.
He entered the night 6th in the SEC with 15 home runs. He has added 2 to that total in the first 4 innings.
Yeah, he may not end the night in 6th place there.
No, he may be higher than that by the time we're done here. He also has Canada SEC play.
How about that out of your leadoff guy, too?
Try to get him as many times at the plate as you can.
Fennell had done such a good job battling back there from the first 2 guys getting on base, trying to limit it to 1 run. But right there, not able to get it done.
The slider stays outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Carson Tenney. 2 for 2, a double in the first, infield hit in the third. Two and 2 on the swing and miss. Aiden Robbins, his 3rd multi-homer game over the last 7 games. Leaving the yard at a pretty good clip here at this point in the season. 2-2, stays downstairs for a full count. Payoff, hit a mile foul.
Yeah, that's the second time that Tenney has been right on that changeup, especially with 2 strikes. If Fennell's going to throw it, he's got to bury it or switch it up.
Another payoff pitch straight over the screen. And that ball he hit back in the first inning was triple digits in terms of exit velocity as well. It was 113. Little battle here. Swing and a miss. Fennell wins the battle. Breaking pitch on 3 and 2 to Fantini. Get him out for the first time, but Texas strikes for 3 runs. 2 of them on this swing. Aiden Robbins, 2nd homer already. Texas in front, 4-0 in the 4th. Well, big inning for Texas. 3 runs in the 4th to lead 4-0 over Vanderbilt. Commodores still looking for their first hit against left-hander Dylan Volantis. A little bit of everybody enjoying the ball game on this Friday night. Young fans in the house. Brody Johnston, Braden Holcomb, Colin Barzee. Good power bats for Vanderbilt here in the 4th. Ground out to first the first time up for Brody. Carrying a 9-game hit streak into tonight's series opener against Texas. Five homers in SEC play and 17 RBIs to go with the batting average of .333. Entering game number 19. Check swing on a pitch in the dirt. Couldn't hold up, 1 and 2.
And the pitch selection for Brody Johnston is something that he really improved on from last year to this year. And I think the average definitely has jumped up there because of that.
Volantis gets him out swinging. 5 Ks for the Texas left-hander. Oliver's just trying to put some runners on base. It has been tough to do. And guys, that's the type of pitch that he's really tough on.
For sure. I mean, Volantis is putting on a clinic out here, mixing pitches up, keeping batters off. You know, big swing there by Johnston, just not able to stay back on it because it was a great spot right there.
Braden Holcomb has been Vanderbilt's only base runner. He reached on a 2-out error in the first. Middle innings here in Nashville. Talked about the hit streak for Johnston. Holcomb, 5 straight games and 8 out of 9. Ball on a strike. So guys, you're in the spot in the game, and Volantis has really settled in here. What's your approach at the plate just to try to get something going?
Yeah, you've got to try to get him off of his game. We talked about this with Fennell a few innings ago, right? With Fennell, it's more of trying to slow him down. With Volantis, he just looks so comfortable standing on the mound right now. It's how can you get him off his spot? Maybe it's a little bit of a bunt. Maybe it's trying to, if you can get a guy on base, can you put him in motion? Something to throw him off, because he's just on a roll right now.
Holcomb checked, make it 3-1.
He's very comfortable out there. How can you make him a little bit more uncomfortable? Yeah, just find a way to get on base and get him a little bit out of his rhythm to where his mind is a little bit more distracted by a runner or something. But yeah, he's rolling.
3-1 to Holcomb. Takes ball 4. Patient in that at bat, and Vanderbilt has a base runner with 1 out here in the 4th. First walk issued by Volantis.
And that's another way to do it, Kevin, right, is to hold the zone and say, hey, if you're going to come at me and you're going to force me to attack, that's fine, but I'm not going to chase and expand this zone like you want me to.
You see the first 4 innings, and then after that, and Coach Jim Schlossnagle, after the start against Alabama last week, said just really had his off-speed pitches going well, had enough sink to the fastball, was efficient. Felt like 90 pitches at that point was enough. Said they'd also worked on his setup for coming set, and it helped to have the fastball stay in the zone a little better, have a little sink instead of the run. So been able to give him a little bit better control.
And I think also second time through the order, now you've seen the breaking ball. You know the shape of that. And so it's not so weird coming out of the hand. So second, third time through the order, how can you make an adjustment as a hitter, being able to see those pitches more than once?
And based off of those splits right there, I'd say that in the second time, or especially the third time through the order, once you get to the 5th inning, something seems to be a little bit different than the first or second time through.
Colin Barzy, 0 for 1. A ball and a strike with 1 out. Holcomb down at first. Volantis, a guy who was their closer last season, had a dozen saves and set an SEC record in the process, 1-2. They moved him into the starting rotation. He's been terrific, and now they have Sam Cozart in the back end of that bullpen, and he's been awesome too.
Just one after another.
Yeah, one after another. He's the co-freshman of the week in the SEC this week. Strike 3 called. Found the outer edge, and he sits down Barzy for the second time. And guys, we take a look at the pitch sequence.
Yeah, not a lot of straight stuff here, Kevin. And it's a curveball on the outside corner, another curveball low in the dirt, and a cutter inside, gets underneath the hands of Barzy, and then a backdoor slider there on the outside corner. There's just a lot of lateral movement there from Volantis.
Especially that 1-1 breaking ball inside for a strike 2, and then to throw the cutter with a little bit less on the back door for the strike 3. Great pitch sequencing.
Fastball for a strike to Chris Maldonado. 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Second base umpire William Van Raphorst went over to make sure the rosin bag was where it needs to be. Shot toward right, and a first base hit for Vanderbilt off the bat of Chris Maldonado. Goes the other way. Holcomb digging for third. The throw came in that direction, and Vanderbilt has a threat with 2 outs. Runners at the corners. Maldonado with the first knock for the Vandy boys.
A nice piece of hitting right there from Maldonado. Take a look at the swing here. A little bit of kind of an interesting delivery there from Volantis. Went across his body, tried to mess up the eye angle there for Maldonado, but was able to punch it right there the other way. Commodores, who hadn't had a lot of offense going, got a little something going here. Got to find the way to capitalize here with a guy who's really doing well on the mound.
Yeah, he dropped down farther than we've seen him in this game tonight. Riker Wade lined out to right on a terrific play by Anthony Pack. That was in the second inning. Picked it right off the turf. Switch hitter batting right. Fourth in the SEC with 35 walks here in 2026. Takes a strike, 1-1. Wade had one of the big hits of the game on Tuesday, a grand slam, which was the 7th of the season for Vanderbilt. Break-even pitch in for a strike. 1-2. Maldonado leads at first. Holcomb does the same at third. Swing and a miss by Waite, and the inning is over as Volantis strikes out 3. Vanderbilt leads 2. A walk and a first hit. We've played 4. Texas leading Vanderbilt 4-0 in Nashville. A pair of home runs by Aiden Robbins and some terrific work from that man on the mound. Dylan Volantis, a left-hander for Texas, with 8 strikeouts, including 1 to wrap up the 4th. And Vanderbilt's biggest threat so far. Commodores had runners at first and third, finally recording a hit on a single by Chris Maldonado. He has been outstanding. Connor Fennell has battled his way through 4 innings for Vanderbilt. His Friday night pitching matchup. He got him with a home run ball. Robbins, a solo shot in the 3rd and a 2-run blast in the 4th. Middle of the order coming up for Texas in the 5th. It'll be Anthony Pack Jr. as well as Adrian Rodriguez and Ethan Mendoza. Spots 3, 4, and 5.
Fennell's done a good job with the heart of the order here so far. These 3 guys going 1 for 6 against Fennell so far. It's the top and it's been the bottom that have really done the damage so far tonight.
Inside for ball to Anthony Pack Jr. See that pitch count at 67 for Connor Fennell. He struck out in the 1st and he popped out in the 3rd. Play that saw Riker Wade range over toward the line to make the catch. 1-1.
I think it's really just been a couple of missed spots that really have been the difference. I mean, that's what happens in SEC ball games. Every pitch is so important. You know, you leave a ball up, it leaves the yard, and that's kind of been the story here. But Fennell has looked pretty good here for facing a really good lineup here with the Longhorns.
It feels like the home run ball has really hurt him this season. That one lined and through the whole right side into right field. Pack on base to lead off the 5th, his first hit of the night.
We talked earlier about how he more so mixes speeds more than overpowers guys, and I think that's the backside of that as far as when you make a mistake, if the velocity's not there to cover it up, then you see some damage being done at times.
1 for 2, Adrian Rodriguez. He had a single in the 3rd and a strikeout in the 1st. It was fan 5. Pack on at first. Maldonado holds him on. He was leaning a little bit. Gets back. He is leading base stealer in this lineup, 13 out of 14. Commodore catching has thrown out 15 base stealers this season. Opponents are 35 out of 50 entering tonight's play. And most of that has been Corbin Reynolds behind the plate. Big lead at first for Pack with nobody out. And a strike to Rodriguez. Big crowd here at Hawkins Field on this Friday night. Seeing the visitors jump in front 4-0. Another throw over. Drew, you were talking earlier about some of the mechanics catching wise for Reynolds. What do you see in terms of his throwing? How's he able to be so efficient there?
He's got such a good arm, but he also puts his body in a great position to throw and release quickly. You can see he starts with the, we'll see the runner right here.
Throw to second, and Pack is saved. That throw was a little bit high, and Pack able to scoot into second with a stolen base.
A little bit high of a throw. I think Reynolds had to rush that a bit because he's being protected by the lefty Rodriguez up there. So Pack with a good jump. 14th stolen base on the season for him. But still, Reynolds is just able to get rid of the ball so quickly. If he can get that throw anywhere near the bag, he's going to have really good success, as he has so far this season.
Pack 14 out of 15. Breaking ball inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Adrian Rodriguez.
As a base runner there with Pack, you really have to be confident that you can get to second base. Leadoff hitter on base, 4, 5, and 6 coming up after that 4-run lead. You certainly don't want to run yourselves out. So good job by Pack right there.
Line to right, and Holcomb won't be able to get that one. Gets over to cut it off. Pack digging for the plate, and the stolen base pays off. Texas leads 5-0. An RBI for Rodriguez as Pack comes around. Longhorns tack on another here in the 5th with nobody out.
And that's the payoff, right, for the risk of stealing second base. Pack's in a great position to score right there. Holcomb got to the ball pretty quickly. The throw went to second. I don't know if they weren't sure if Pack was going to try to score on that or what, but nobody really aligned as if there was going to be a play at the plate.
Yeah, there wasn't like a full double cut situation where there was going to be an option, because you saw Riker Waite catch the ball and kind of turn around and looked a little surprised that the Pack had made all the way around.
Ethan Mendoza with Rodriguez at first, nobody out. Rodriguez now 2 for 2, and give him the RBI as well as he reaches 20 in that category. The 8 homers for Mendoza are a career high. It only had 8 over the last 2 years. He was really good last season, though, and part of the SEC All-Defensive team. Led Texas in 4 different categories. Runner goes, throw to second, close play, out this time. There's Reynolds and that great arm. He cuts down Mendoza, trying to give the Longhorns their second steal of the inning.
Was he out on the slide past the bag? I think he was. We'll take a look here.
He may have been out twice. I don't know if we can count that for 2
Right.
outs this inning.
Yeah.
That would be a nice nice start there.
Ball and a strike to Mendoza, 0 for 2. One more look here.
Yeah, I think the lead leg actually popped up and he didn't hit the bag.
And I don't think he was tagged on the lead
Right.
leg either.
Yeah.
Well, count now 3-1 to Mendoza. He has 2 ground outs to Brody Johnston on his resume tonight. Smoke to left toward the monster. Gonna bang off the wall. See if they can hold him to a single. Good job by Hampton to get the ball in quickly. Mendoza hit it so hard that it came right back, and he'll be held to a single. That's the 3rd straight hit for Texas here in the 5th.
Really good job by Hampton right there. I mean, he really didn't move. He just simply turned around and could see where that ball was going to bounce. Got it in quickly.
And it's very frustrating as a hitter. I mean, he absolutely smoked that ball and then got a single.
1-0-2 off the bat. We get a meeting on the mound. 1 out here in the 5th, a run in for Texas. They lead 5-0. No activity in the Vanderbilt bullpen. Connor Fennell, your Friday night starter. You see the breakdown of balls and strikes. Next pitch he throws will be his 80th.
You know, the way Vandy's pitching situation has evolved through the year, they really need Fennell to get through as many innings as he can to not have to dig too deep in that bullpen before the TBA game tomorrow, and then obviously Sunday's game too.
Texas team hard to deal with. They are ranked in the top 5 in the polls and also in the RPI. Big series here for both teams. As Fennell delivers a strike to Becerra. 1 for 2. Singleton scored back in the 4th. He came home on the safety squeeze. Casey Borba got the bunt down to bring him in. 1 strike, bunts again. Fennell says, I'll handle it. He throws out Becerra at first. Mendoza advances to second now with 2 outs.
A nice job getting off the mound there with Fennell. I think that Becerra was actually trying to get that ball a little bit closer to third base line, a little bit faster, because Johnston was playing pretty far back. And it didn't look like he was trying to surprise anybody, just trying to place that a little bit better and cause a rushed play, but Fennell off the mound quickly.
Leading 5-0. Texas with a man in scoring position with 2 outs for Ashton Larson. He's been on base both times. Double in the second. Walked in, was on base for the second Aiden Robbins home run in the 4th. Batting average of .309 with a hit tonight. Launches right field, down the line, and deep. Foul ball. That was close.
That's one of those hanging changeups that Fennell very glad to see sail foul. That ball was hit a long way.
And I think you see the fine line between where Volantis is landing those pitches in the dirt at the very bottom, and then where Fennell's leaving them up a foot or 2 more, and the damage that can be done by SEC hitters at this level.
1-1 pitch. 2 balls and a strike.
Drew, as a catcher, when you're catching, how many times did you see a ball coming to the plate and you thought, oh no? Like, you could just see it happening before it even happened.
Well, I like the ones that end up foul, like that one did, as opposed to the ones that end up between the foul poles.
Yeah, you get new life on those ones that go foul.
We had a joke with Taylor Hill, who I caught through our years here at Vanderbilt, that he always gave up a token home run. So it was better to get it out of the way early.
Yeah, for sure.
And just flush it, hopefully a solo home run, than later in the game with a couple of guys on base.
Fouled off to the left side here to run the count full. Only home run this season for Ashton Larson was against Coastal Carolina all the way back in February. A guy who had a couple of years at LSU as part of their national championship team last season. Fennell with the payoff pitch. It's high for ball 4. Larson takes his base. He's been on all 3 times. Casey Borba will get an AB here in the 5th.
Really good at bat there by Larson.
He's starting to get a little activity down the Vanderbilt bullpen. Nate Taylor gets loose. We have seen him used as a weekend starter early in the season, especially as Scott Brown goes out to have a conversation with Connor Fennell. Texas with runners at first and second. Larson at first, Mendoza at second. Anthony Pack started the inning with a single, stole a base, scored on a hit by Rodriguez. Mendoza banked one off the fence, a sac bunt and a walk. That's where we are. But Drew, you said it. I mean, you have to get some distance out of Fennell in this game, especially with 2 more games to go. And tomorrow, a game where you figure to use a lot of guys like we saw last Saturday at Kentucky, and it worked out well in what was a really just a sloppy day. Vanderbilt was able to get the win. To left field, on a line, base hit. Coming around to score, Mendoza. Longhorns doing some 2-out damage. They lead 6-0. Give Borba his 2nd RBI of the night.
Yeah, I think just another pitch that didn't execute the spot that he wanted, left it up, and Borba able to take advantage. Take a look at the swing. Yeah, that's just changeup just right down Broadway. That's going to get hit every single time.
Borba's now the 8th batter in the Longhorn lineup with a hit tonight. So you can just see it's not just 1 or 2 people at this point doing damage. It started out with the top 2, the bottom couple, but now the rest of the team has jumped in as well.
Josh Livingston Long one, right field. His first hit of the night is a 3-run homer. Livingston on the first pitch hammers it out of here, and Texas takes a 9-0 advantage. 4th home run of the season for the Texas DH.
First pitch swinging right there just after Borba first pitch swinging. I mean, these guys are locked in at the plate, Andrew.
Yeah, very similar to what we saw with Robbins. It was right on the fastball, knew he was going to get it, was right on time with it, and left in the seats.
Well, back to the top. Here's Aiden Robbins. There's a no-doubter out of here to right field. Construction area in right. Vanderbilt building a new building, and fenced in a little bit this season by a few feet, but that one cleared by plenty. Aiden Robbins has already had a great night. Struck out in the first, but since then 2 home runs. Solo shot in the 3rd and a 2-run homer in the 4th, making a bid for number 3. Ooh.
It's got to be in the back of your mind, right? All right, I got 2. Can I do 3?
9-run lead. I don't think he's swinging for a single.
No.
Fly ball center field. They'll get him out this time. It is Rigdon. We had to wait a minute for that one to come down, and Texas is done in the 5th. Longhorns send 8 men to the plate. 5 runs on 5 hits. The big swing, a Josh Livingston 3-run homer with 2 outs. Texas 9, Vanderbilt nothing. Halfway done. Well, Texas, full display for their offense. They've scored about every way you can, including 3 home runs. Vanderbilt has only managed 1 hit so far against left-hander Dylan Volantis. Chris Maldonado, 2-out single in the 4th. You take a look at his starts, and he actually missed a start against Texas A&M when their game was rained out. But it's typically been right around 6 innings. Tonight, 4 innings of work. 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, 1 hit. His 12 strikeouts were a season and career high for Volantis.
Yeah, the thing I look for on that stat sheet was just the strikeout to walk ratio. I mean, there's a lot of strikeouts and not a lot of walks. He does not give a lot of free passes, and very, very efficient up there on the mound.
He was the National Freshman of the Year in 2025. First team all-conference and all freshmen in the SEC as well. Out of Westlake High School in California. Strike 1 to Rustin Rigdon. Struck out his first time up. Foul tip and quickly 0-2. A Vanderbilt team coming in feeling like they had some momentum out of that series against Kentucky last weekend. They went to Lexington, won the last 2 to take 2 out of 3, and basically a pitch away from a series sweep. Wildcats hit a walk-off home run on Friday to the backstop to make it 1-2. Came back, played well against Xavier on Monday. This is the 2nd game of a 5-game homestand. Jim Corbin's team. To the screen above the Vanderbilt dugout. And guys, we talked about it throughout the season. I mean, it's just feels like it's been a team that's the reverse of what you typically see from Vanderbilt. The pitching has been a struggle, but this season a whole lot of offense and a lot of home runs.
And I think in years past, a game like this, you may say, hey, you know, it's going to be tough to, can we score 9 runs? But I would say this is a team that can jump back into this. It's going to be a tall task with a pitcher like Volantis here, but I think as an offense, your goal has to be, how can we put some runs on the board and maybe try to get to this bullpen quicker versus having Volantis stay out there and throw 7, 8+ innings, and Texas can serve its bullpen for the rest of the weekend.
That was one of the hardest hit balls of the night off the bat of Rustin Rigdon. Line drive to right, but Pack able to get over and grab it, 1 out.
Yeah, I think just from a pride standpoint, you got to get the goose egg off the board first. I mean, he's got to find a way to get some runs going, get some mojo working. But yeah, Volantis has been looking really good, and the pin is really good for Texas too. I mean, this is a team that returns 10 of their top 13 pitchers from last season. So guys that are seasoned and really know what they're doing out there.
1 strike to Corbin Reynolds, the Vanderbilt catcher, 0-2. Talking to Tim Corbin this week, talking about the SEC race, as everybody has talent, but consistency is what you're really looking for. And yeah, people might look at the Vanderbilt teams, they are strong, you have a lot of power, but can you be consistent and continue to win, as Reynolds is out number 2 of the 5th. So one weekend can change everything. Texas so far having the upper hand tonight. 2 outs for Will Hampton. 9 Ks for the left-hander for Texas. Make it 8.
Just a lot of weird pitches coming from that left side. I mean, we see the curveball, we've seen a slider, we see like a hard cutter. They're all similar in shape. Some of them are a little bit more vertical break, some of them are a little more velocity.
And the third baseman, Becerra, did the right thing there to just get out of the way and let that ball hit off a roll foul, hit off the bat of Will Hampton. He would have been safe if he'd picked it up.
Really smart baseball play. Becerra came at it so hard, I thought he was going to just try to make the play, and then, I don't know, maybe that ball bounced so high, gave him a chance to reconsider. Good play.
Hampton will come back. He hit the first pitch he saw in the 3rd inning on a line over to Becerra and is 0 for 1.
Yeah, that rain's starting to come down a little bit.
Starting to see people scramble a little bit. Been rain in the forecast. 1-2 now to Hampton. Raining on Eagles night. That's no fun.
They've got to have a song about rain.
Yeah. Will Hampton's sort of been the new kid in town the last couple weeks. Swinging a miss. There's 9 strikeouts for Dylan Volantis. 3 up, 3 down for Vanderbilt in the 5th. Couple strikeouts. Texas in control. 9-0 after 5. You can see the rain falling here in Nashville. Texas leading 9-0 over Vanderbilt. 2 home runs by Aiden Robbins and a 3-run blast by Josh Livingston. That was in the 5th. Longhorns put up 5, and Vanderbilt will go to the bullpen. We'll see Nate Taylor come on to replace Connor Fennell. Sophomore, Georgia native, played at Georgia, used sparingly last season, and has come to this Vanderbilt program and makes appearance number 11. We'll face batters 2, 3, and 4 for the Horns here in the 6th.
Yeah, Scott Brown, Tim Corbin actually recruited Taylor out of high school. Instead, decided to go to Georgia, entered the portal, and decided to come back to Vandy. So it's always important when you're getting recruited, especially in this new era of college baseball, just keep those relationships. You don't want to burn any bridges because you never know when those future relationships can pay off for you.
Yeah, guys move around so much these days. You see it in all different sports.
I think some of those recruiting conversations used to be no, and now it's simply not right now.
Yeah.
Last time out for Taylor, 2 innings against Oklahoma in Game 2 of that series. Facing catcher Carson Tenney, who is 2 for 3 on the night. A double in the 1st, a single in the 3rd, and a strikeout in the 4th. Dozen hits for Texas the first 5 frames. And Taylor's another guy, has really good stuff. It's just been a matter of control and really harnessing his pitches, and out there in a spot here where Vanderbilt's just trying to keep the game where it is. Down big here in the 6th inning. 2-1.
And as the season goes on, as Vanderbilt continues to play, they're going to need innings from pitchers like Taylor. So this experience he's getting right here will only continue to pay off as the season and the schedule turns into May.
Yeah, there's a strike to make it 2-2. Texas outside with a breaking pitch. It'll be Tenney now, then Pack, and then Rodriguez. Longhorns. Avoids a leadoff walk by landing the breaking pitch for strike 3. That was nicely done by Taylor, 1 out in the 6th.
Yeah, right on the outside corner here. A little slider action. Perfect spot. Nice help there from his catcher, Reynolds. A frame job.
I think Tenney, the catcher, right, normally thinks like, hey, ump, like that.
Yeah.
I thought those 50-50 balls go to the catcher there, right, when you're batting. But a punch out.
Anthony Pack. He is 1 for 3. Single, stole a base, has scored a run, and has made a great play in right field. Batting average sitting at .348. Coming into tonight's game in SEC play, he is 3rd in average at .413. Big swing, 1-1. 26 hits in conference games. Now with a 13-game hit streak.
Pretty impressive from the only freshman in the lineup.
Smoke down the right field line. That is a fair ball. Extra bases for Pack. He's going to stop at second as Holcomb gets the ball back in. Texas has had at least 1 hit in every inning as Pack doubles for his 2nd hit of the night.
He just continues to swing a hot bat. That ball around the inside part of the plate. Does a really good job keeping this ball fair. Doesn't wrap around it, keeps the hands through, and gets on his horse. An easy double there for Pack.
That ball was scorched.
Feels like that's been the theme of the night for Texas. Adrian Rodriguez has had a good night as well. 2 for 3 with an RBI. Everybody in this Texas lineup has had at least 1 hit. I think Josh Livingston was the last guy, and he hit the home run last inning.
Yeah, an exclamation point.
Yeah. One out, Ben at second. Taylor got Tenney looking to start the inning. Now pitching to the cleanup man, Rodriguez. See those conference records, Texas at 11-6. They've only played 17 games. They lost the 1 against Texas A&M to bad weather. They waited it out for a long time. They did about everything they could to get that game in. Vanderbilt at 9-9. Big swing and a foul ball, 1-2.
And if you look at the rest of Texas' schedule, I mean, they got Mississippi State, which would be a solid matchup. And then they got Tennessee and Missouri, who you think they can probably take some care of business there. So next 3 weekends, got to feel pretty good about going off into the postseason, with a pretty solid record. For the Commodores, still, again, some work to do towards the end of the year.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Taylor looks back towards second and throws.
And if you're a team like Texas, projected national seed 3, national seed 4, somewhere in there, just to be able to stay at home, have those teams come to you, just such a huge advantage when you get to June in college baseball.
You're one of those top seeds. You play the whole thing at home and try to advance to Omaha. Number 3, the RPI, top 10 in strength of schedule. 11 quad 1 wins entering this series. Foul ball again, makes it 1-2. Nice play in the stands. Here's what's coming up. As Andrew mentioned, Mississippi State, Tennessee, the remaining conference series.
When Texas and Tennessee play each other, Kevin, how do they do like the abbreviations?
Coin flip
UT versus UT, or
TEN versus TEX?
Yeah, TN and TX. Do they just say, all right, nobody gets to use it?
Smoked, deep center field, Rigdon. Jumps and out of room. The Longhorns do it again. A 4th home run of the night. Adrian Rodriguez has his 3rd hit. A 2-run shot. Double figures for the Horns. They lead 11-0.
That was a really impressive swing. 103 off the bat with 413 over the center field fence. Take a look at the swing here. Yeah, it's an elevated, looks like it may be a changeup, and he got all of it.
We've talked about elevated pitches tonight, right?
Yeah.
That helps. But Rodriguez got so much backspin on that ball. It just kept carrying, and deep left center field. 4th home run tonight.
And of the 4, that may have been the most impressive. Here's Ethan Mendoza, fastball high. 1 out of 3, a single and scored in the 5th. Rodriguez, that was his first home run of the year. RBIs 2 and 3 of this game. That gives him 22. Fastball from Taylor stays low, 2-0. But just thinking last inning, it feels like we've seen Texas do a little bit of everything. They've certainly hit the home runs, but they've played small ball as well in this game. Big bouncer to third. It's Johnston. Wings it across for the second out. It's the 3rd time Mendoza has hit it to Johnston tonight. This just feels like a very complete team we're seeing. Vanderbilt face here at Hawkins Field tonight.
This is really impressive for a team like you had mentioned earlier, Kevin, that's never played at Hawkins Field before. Just a series that has been dormant for a while outside of a game here and game there. For them to roll into Hawkins Field like this with a packed house visiting team, it's been really impressive.
Strike to Becerra. Base hit and scored a run in the 4th, put down a sac bunt in the 5th. 1 for 2 with a ground out back in the 2nd.
I think a lot of it starts with the momentum that your starting pitcher gives you with Volantis. And he's just been cruising, and so as an offense, you're like, oh, well, I know that our pitcher's going to give us a chance to win, and he's going to continue to cruise. We can just take hacks up there and then have some fun.
In the dirt, 2-1. They won 5 series in 6 weeks. Definitely having some fun here in Nashville. Volantis staying loose down in the first base dugout. Swings and comes up empty to make it 2-2. Nate Taylor in relief of Connor Fennell. So Texas offense 6th in the country in scoring margin at plus 4.4, and they are plus 11 tonight as Taylor gets out Becerra to close out the 6th. But 2 runs on 2 hits, an Anthony Pack double and Adrian Rodriguez. Long home run to center. Longhorns leading 11-0 in the 6th. Well, the folks wearing burnt orange are having a good time here at Hawkins Field. 11-0. Texas leading. A strength of 4 home runs and outstanding work on the mound by lefty Dylan Volantis. Jim Schlossnagel's team firing on all cylinders here in Game 1 in Nashville. Coming in overall with 30-8. It'll be the top of the order due up for Vanderbilt. Mike Mancini, Brody Johnston, and Braden Holcomb in the 6th. There's a strike.
And you saw Jim Schlossnagel just say to Becerra, third baseman, hey, come on in, because he knows Commodore's trying to get something going. Mancini, leadoff guy, probably going to maybe put a bunt down. Now here, 0-2, not going to, but switching back over to the shift here with 2 strikes.
Mancini 0 for 2, a fly out and a bounce out to first. Watts is trying to reach double figures in strikeouts. 1 walk, 9 Ks, 1 hit. For Texas pitching, recorded 49 strikeouts in 3 games last weekend against Alabama. That was a school record for a 3-game series.
So many strikeouts.
That is a lot. 49 Ks on the 40 acres. Cue shot left side. Let's see if Rodriguez can make the play. Close and safe. Mancini beats it out for an infield single to start off the 6th.
He had about 75 feet to work with from third base to where the first defender was, but a great play made nonetheless to make it close.
Only the second hit of the game for Vanderbilt. The other was a single in the fourth by Chris Maldonado. Brody Johnston is 0 for 2. Ground out to first and a strikeout his 2 times up. Guy who's typically been a very difficult out in this Vanderbilt lineup. You see those numbers on the season. Hit well, right field line, foul ball. I think, as you guys talked about, I mean, you just want to get the goose egg off the board to start with and then go from there.
For sure. And these are the matchups right here that you really want to see. A top arm versus a top bat. And for a guy like Johnston, who's going to have an opportunity to play at the next level, I mean, these are the pitchers that you're going to see at the next level. And so, you know, to really test yourself is it's a really good measuring stick.
There's a lot of baseball left to play this weekend, too. If you're
Right.
Johnston, if you're Holcomb up next, Barzy, etc., they've got 10+ at bats still on the hook this weekend. They've got to start to feel better so they can put themselves in better positions this weekend.
A high fly ball down the right field line. Pack ran a long way and got there quickly to close in and make the catch, retire Johnston for the 3rd time. Yeah, those guys might face off at the next level one of these days. You got to think the future very bright for Brody Johnston and Dylan Volantis. Braden Holcomb's been on both times. He reached on an error in the first and a walk in the fourth. 1 out, Mancini at first. Vanderbilt 6th. You also want to put some runs on the board to stay out of run rule range with the 7th inning coming up. Holcomb takes a strike. See Braden, he's a big dude with a lot of power, but was really hit for a good average this season, and especially in this stretch of the year, he's been really consistent at the plate.
And I think you've seen with both Johnston before him and Holcomb now, both of their strikeouts decrease this year and their walks increase. I think that's been an emphasis of what Coach Esposito's done in his first year as the hitting coach.
Yeah, I actually asked him about that, and he said, what we've really been focusing with a lot of these guys is just trying to stay through the middle of the field. And, you know, it gives them a lot more ability to have room for error, like we just saw there. It wasn't hit great, but, you know, the bat got out, found a hole.
Holcomb bouncing it through the left side and to left field for a base hit. So runners at first and second with 1 out, and Holcomb extends his hit streak now to 6 games. Colin Barzy hoping to put 1 in play. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Swinging in the first, looking in the fourth. Ooh, the second good chance Vanderbilt has had tonight to break through. There's another base hit. Mancini coming to the plate. The throw is offline, and Vanderbilt is on the board. RBI single by Colin Barzy. Vanderbilt with 3 hits in the inning and producing a run to make it 11-1 and break up the shutout.
And this is kind of what we talked about. This offense finally gets a little bit of a spark and starts to get going. 3 in a row, 1 easy run on the board. Still got a long way to go, but this offense starting to tick up a little bit.
And Andrew said it a few times. You just got to get started some way, somehow. They got to run on the board here. They're getting harder contact. We'll see how long Volantis stays in this game. But well, it's good momentum moving forward.
You see a visit from the first base dugout. The first real difficulty that we've seen in terms of problems for Texas. There's a lot of dudes down there on the mound.
Yeah, it's a party. Somebody's grilling out down there.
I think the problems of the world get solved in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I would say that a lot of the pitchers think they've got the answers to the world's problems. In my experience being down in the bullpen with those pitchers, they sure think hitting's a little bit easier as they're sitting 300 feet away. than I think they would say it is if they were in the box with a bat in their hand.
Third time through the order has proven to be difficult for Volantis throughout the season, and that's been the case tonight. Here's Chris Maldonado, 1 for 2. Had Vanderbilt's first hit. That was in the 4th. Barzy at first, Holcomb at second with 1 out, and a man in for Vanderbilt. Didn't get it. It's a tough pitch right there, too. A little changeup away. Check of the runners. And Maldonado is out on strikes.
Another curveball here from Volantis. I mean, that ball in the dirt, that curveball in the dirt, he's just gotten a lot of swing and miss on tonight. These Commodore hitters just can't pick it up, can't lay off.
It must look really good coming out of the hand based off of 6 innings worth now of pitches. But a great job of Volantis right there. Got a mound visit. Coach comes out, settling down, getting a big second out.
Smoked in the Vanderbilt dugout off the bat of Riker Wade. Robbed of a hit by Pack in the 2nd, and then a strikeout in the 4th. That was the 10th K recorded by Volantis as he got Maldonado a moment ago. 12 strikeouts last week for a season high, and 10 more tonight. Foul ball, and I think they got a piece of the catcher, Tenney. Saw the umpire, Kevin Sweeney, hit by a ball earlier tonight. I think Tenney's okay. Vanderbilt, he'd love to put one in play and maybe bring across another run. Not this time. Strike 3 called, and Waite is out to finish off the 6th. A run on 3 hits, 2 left for Vanderbilt. Commodores on the board, but Texas leading 11-1. Well, Texas using the long ball and everything else to lead Vanderbilt 11-1. Commodores getting on the board in the 6th inning. RBI hit by Colin Barzy to break up the shutout. Nate Taylor back out for the 7th here. Check that make it Tristan Bristow coming in as Taylor pitched the 6th, and Bristow is in, the sophomore from Texas. There's number 10 of the season. He's pitched once in SEC play. That was all the way back at the start of conference play against LSU back on March 13th.
Yeah, Bristow got a really good kind of sinker fastball. It's got some velo to it, sweeper breaking ball as well, but does a good job keeping the ball down. Where he gets in trouble, as we've seen with a lot of pitchers today, you know, that ball gets elevated. That slider doesn't have as much bite to it. The sweeper kind of turns into a cement mixer, but when he keeps the ball down, that is really tough to hit.
Bottom of the order coming up for Texas, and they have done some damage tonight. Larson, Borba, and Livingston. Hitters 7, 8, and 9 for the Horns. Starting with Ashton Larson, who's been on base all 3 times. A double in the 2nd, 2 walks, and has scored 2 runs. A rocket foul. I didn't notice the pitching change right away. I was checking out the drafting of Eli Stowers by the Philadelphia Eagles, the Commodore tight end, going in the 2nd round. 54th pick overall, so congratulations to Eli, who was a consensus All-American and really great tight end for Vanderbilt the last couple seasons.
Good offense for him to go to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the stats and the tape tell one story, but like the numbers he put up at the draft, just from like a raw athleticism standpoint, like I think that definitely helped him out a lot.
And I think Philadelphia plays in Nashville this fall, so he'll get a return game at some point.
2-ball, 2-strike count as Bristow pitches to Larson starting the 7th. So an Eagles night in Hawkins Field, Eli Stowers taken by the Eagles. Worked out well. Already gone in the 2nd round, pull foul.
Bristow has Eagles green on his pitcher's glove out there.
It's all coming together.
Yeah. Kind of camo with the turf behind it.
I like it when they break out the Cali green uniforms, the old ones. 2-2. Slider stays upstairs. Full count.
Yeah, you've got the Titans kind of going back to the Houston look, right? And so you think about Philly could do that, Tampa Bay, Seattle. All those play well the 1 or 2 times a year they bust them out.
Payoff from Bristow. Fastball pulled foul. A good little battle here with the 8th pitch of the at-bat, and Bristow ready for another payoff pitch. To center field, on a line, coming in, Rigdon. He got it. The Rooster, the heck of a play to start the 7th, 1 out.
This ball not hit super well, a little bit off the end of the bat. A really good jump there by Rigdon. Got a good first 2 steps. Read it. Full extension, heck of a play. Give some props there from his pitcher, Bristow.
And he had to have that jump because he was started out in deep left center field, so to be able to cover all that ground was a great play.
Had to run a long way to get to that one. Here is Borba. He's away from a first pitch slider. I guess if there's one thing that helped on that play with the left-handed batter Larson, that ball may have been slicing a little bit in his direction. Seen some nice plays in the outfield tonight. One Pack made earlier was really good too. 1 ball count. High fly ball, right field line. For the Texas cheering section.
Do we make a play, Kevin?
I don't know if we did or not.
Oh. Made a play earlier though, right? Yeah. I got to update my my average.
Yeah, it was I think 4 for 14 or something.
That's what we were the other
tonight's
night.
play.
Yeah. So what we're 5 for 16.
Yep.
Okay.
Ball on a strike here to Borba. Straight back. And going back and seeing some of the clips of the game on Tuesday that we did against Xavier, I don't think we gave enough props to the catch that was made in the outfield on the home run.
We did not. No, that was a heck of a play.
That was a really nice catch that young lady made. Brought a glove and made a catch. 1-2, Bristow. Trying to hit that edge. Here's the play.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she was jacked
Got
up
it.
too. And that ball, the thing is, the ball didn't have a lot of hang time. Like it was like a line drive. It was a very impressive catch.
She basically took it away from those guys that were trying to get it too, and reached out and got it.
She seemed so confident making the play, but then couldn't believe after the fact that she had in fact made the play.
See, that's the type of effort we need every game by the fans here. 5 for 15 just isn't going to cut it. Got to bring that average up.
2-2, Bristow. Boy, held it for an extra beat. Reynolds trying to get the call. Kevin Sweeney says ball 3.
Oh, actually, it wasn't a terrible pitch. I mean, it looked like Reynolds was set up inside. So maybe just the framing of him having to kind of go across his body. Home plate umpire Kevin Sweeney couldn't see it.
Way up in the air on the infield, left side. It's going to be Waite. Vanderbilt shortstop. He had to wait a long time. That ball finally came down into his glove for the second out. Josh Livingston, one of the big swings for Texas tonight. He has 1 out of 3, and that one was a 3-run homer in the 5th. Hit one into the screen down the right field line. Fourth homer of the season. Outside for a ball. Tristan Bristow trying to do something Vanderbilt's been unable to do tonight, and that is sit down Texas in order. Trying to get them 1, 2, 3. 2-0 the count. The shift employed for the left-handed batting Texas DH. Two-0 from Bristow and a big cut. Livingston already with 1 home run. Makes it 2-1.
If Robbins has a chance to bat next, I think we'll see equally large cuts from him.
I would say you're correct. He's homered twice and 4 times up tonight. Bristow's 2-1. That was smoked into the dugout.
Drew, as a right-handed hitter, how enticing is that left field wall?
I mean, it's enticing for me up here in the press box, looking at it. And maybe that's for the years that I just, knew the dimensions and where it was. But I mean, I think if you need any extra motivation to stay through a ball and to take it, to right center field, I think you got it right there.
2-2. Came with the slider, fouled off.
I think it has been interesting throughout the season watching these games to see the balls just softly hit the net, though, and slowly climb down versus, you think some of these thunderous home runs that hit off the street or hit off the bleachers, and it just softly catches, the net softly catches it each time.
2-2, got him out. Good work by Tristan Bristow. Breaking pitch retires Livingston for the first time tonight. 3 up, 3 down. The stretch here in Nashville. Texas leading Vanderbilt 11-1. Commodores will send up the bottom of the order when we come back. Well, great performance once again tonight by Texas left-hander Dylan Valantes. He had Vanderbilt off balance all night long using that full array of pitches, including that outstanding curveball. 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts in 6 innings through 87 pitches. Guys, he was really impressive.
He just was in control the whole time, Kevin. There's a couple of hits there in the last inning, but he dictated the game tonight. It's a great Vanderbilt offense, but Dylan Valantes went up there and said, you guys are going to play my game. I'm not playing your game.
And topped it off with some rainbow goldfish, too.
I was looking at the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, a heck of a job there by Valantes, and exactly what the Longhorns needed coming into tonight. Got a great start from him and passes it on to Max Grubbs here.
Arlington, Texas native Max Grubbs on the mound, the senior. Look at his season numbers. Appearance number 17. Going to face Rigdon, Reynolds, and Hampton in the Vanderbilt batting order here in the 7th. 4 home runs for Texas tonight. That has been the story. 2 by Robbins at the top of the order. Weston Rigdon 0 for 2. Strikeout and a line out to right. Actually had one of the harder hit balls to that point off Valantes. Line drive in the 5th. Fouled that one off himself. 1-2. Longhorns put on the shift. Rigdon goes the other way. Down the left field line. This will be extra bases. Rigdon. That's himself a leadoff double to start the 7th. Beat the shift. Hit it the other direction.
The shift very much pulling into his pull side. The slider there in the outside corner. Rigdon just went the other way with it. Nice piece of hitting.
Mancini got last inning started with a similar situation. Large shift for a left-handed batter, utilizing the left side of the field. You see Rigdon do the same thing.
Terrific play in the field. Now a double 3 times up. Here's Corbin Reynolds 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. The guy probably happy to see somebody other than Dylan Volantis. Long one left field off the bat of Reynolds. That ball is gone.
Man.
Two-run shot for the Commodore catcher. His 5th home run, RBIs 23 and 24. Make it 11-3.
Thank God he pitched. He wanted in a heck of a swing. That was a moon shot to left center field. A heck of a swing there by Corbin Reynolds. Take a look. Yeah, that's just a ball left up in the zone and makes him pay.
Drops it about 3 rows up in the bleachers in left field.
These batters for both teams tonight, guys, when they've gotten mistakes, they have not missed them.
A foul off the bat of Will Hampton. And there weren't many mistakes made by Dylan Volantis, and Max Grubbs with a rude welcome to this game, a double and a home run. For 2 night for Hampton, who lined out to third base in the 3rd and struck out in the 5th. But I think his game on Sunday, if you look back to the series win at Kentucky, that had to be one of the feel-good moments of the season. Grand slam he hit in the 6th inning to give Vanderbilt the lead. It was his first start. He was on base all 4 times, had 2 hits. Getting a chance to play with Logan Johnstone out of the lineup for a couple days. Andrew and I were talking on Tuesday that you're riding up there on the bus on Thursday. You're probably thinking, oh, maybe I can get an AB in this series somewhere, and you end up having the game that everybody remembers from that series.
Coach Corbin always likes to tell a tale this time of year of people who have not played much the first few months of the season.
Bouncer up the middle, Rodriguez gets him out this time. 1 out.
But who, as the season progresses in the back half and into postseason, suddenly find themselves in a lot bigger roles. So you see the Will Hamptons of the world play a role in sports like college baseball. So don't be surprised to see him continuing to potentially play a role as this season goes along.
Yeah, I think for the longest time, Worth Scott was the name that came to mind for Tim Corbin, talking about that big home run against Tennessee to send to the Commodores to the SEC tournament. I think after a number of years have passed, I think Tyler Campbell's probably that guy. Gets inserted in the game and into the College World Series, didn't have a ton of at-bats. Plays an amazing third base, gets a game-winning hit. Like, there's a lot of those guys that just constantly are ready and answer the bell when their name is turned.
That one crushed right field. Mike Mancini has his 9th home run of SEC play. Over the net, over everything. Second home run of the frame for Vanderbilt makes it 11-4. 13th overall for Mancini.
Mancini must have heard my comment earlier about the home runs hitting the net out there, because he made sure that one cleared it.
Yeah, that ball was absolutely destroyed. They go over the net. Did it go over the entire construction site? That's a hanger. And you saw a couple of choice words out of the mouth of Grubbs, the pitcher, right when it entered the strike zone. He knew that was going to be a bad one coming back out.
3 runs for Vanderbilt in the 7th, all on the home run. Here's Brody Johnston, who trying to keep his hit streak going. He's 0 for 3, 9-game hit streak. Bounce out to first, a strikeout and a fly out. All those against Volantis, the starter. Grubbs delivers the strike. Oh-2 pitch. Pulled left side, gloved by the third baseman, and a nice play over to first. Becerra throws out Johnston, 2 gone.
A very nice play by Becerra. His ball was hit pretty well on the ground. Becerra able to grab it, get his shoulders turned with the spin move. If he lets that ball go through, Rodriguez was right there, but still a longer throw in the hole as the third baseman. He got the better angle. So nice job there.
I think Becerra was expecting that second hop to be a little bit higher, but did a great job adjusting and getting low enough to make the play.
Brayton Holcomb's been a bright spot for Vanderbilt tonight. On base 3 times. 1 for 2 officially. Reached on an error in the first, a walk in the fourth, and a base hit in the sixth. Fastball for a strike, 1-1. Still a big hill to climb, but if nothing else, Vanderbilt putting some runs on the board and a little something to feel good about heading into game 2 tomorrow night.
They're loud runs too, Kevin.
Yes.
You know, they're not cheap runs or errors and walks. I mean, they're extra base hit, home run, quick strike offense.
Home run has been the story this season for Vanderbilt. 3-ball, 1 strike counts to the 2 home runs in this inning. Look at the power numbers for Vanderbilt this season: 38 in SEC play and 89 on the season. The record is 100 by the 2019 squad. Holcomb with a 2-out walk. Reaches base again. More activity as Brody Walls loosens up in the Texas bullpen.
Well, Drew, you mentioned cookout. There's a guy with a football down in the bullpen too.
Nice.
Jim Schlossnagle will be pointing in that direction. Rough 7th inning for Max Grubbs. 3 runs on 3 hits, a walk, and on base his responsibility. They'll go to the pen for the freshman right-hander Brody Walls. Tell you about him when we come back. 11-4 in the 7th in Nashville. Freshman right-hander Brody Walls, 3rd pitcher used by Texas tonight. He is from McKinney, Texas. He makes appearance number 10. A victory on the season and a .582 ERA. He's trying to get 1 out as he'll face Colin Barzy. A man on and 3 in for Vanderbilt here in the 7th. The game that's been controlled by Texas for most of the night. They jumped in front 11-0. Vanderbilt broke up the shutout last inning, and a couple home runs. One by Reynolds, a 2-run shot, and then Mike Mancini 1 out later, solo homer.
I think that just shows how excited the Commodores were to get Volantis out of the
Anybody other
game.
than him.
Oh. That is such a big relief, right? In the dugout, thinking like, we just got to get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
This team's facing off for the first time as SEC opponents, and the first time they played overall since the 2024 tournament in Houston, the Astros Foundation College Classic. Vanderbilt won 14-11 and also beat him in Arlington in 2023. Mentioned earlier all the postseason times they've met over the years.
Andrew was talking earlier about Tyler Campbell and the role he played in that 2014 season, and I believe his game-winning hit, if not maybe was against Texas.
I think
right?
it was
Texas,
Texas.
yeah.
I'm pretty
that
sure
extra
that's
inning
right.
game in the semifinals.
They swing and a miss by Barzy. He's 1 out of 3 tonight. RBI single last inning.
And against Walls, the Commodores probably going to have to dial it up a little bit more. We saw a cutter there at 89, but he jumps it up there. The fastball, 96, 95.
That close pitch, but ball 1.
I think Walls really wanted that one.
Break-even pitch. Slider misses away. 2 balls and a strike. Peter stays inside. That one all the way up into upper 90s. balls and a strike. If Barzy can reach, Maldonado is on deck to bat next.
You don't see the catcher turn around much and look at the umpire and say, where was that pitch?
It's not something you want to do very often. This one the other way. Barzy didn't hit it too hard, but to a good spot as he drops it in front of Pack. And Vanderbilt's inning continues with runners at first and second. And we're going to get a pinch hitter for Vanderbilt as Tommy Gooden will come off the bench. We saw Maldonado against the lefty. And the left-handed batting Gooden will step in against Walls. Two hits for Barzy tonight. He's at first. Oh, a whole bunch of power for this guy. One swing starts to get you back in the game here. Vanderbilt down 11-4 here in the seventh, but hit another one over the net, and all of a sudden you're within slam range. Don't even have to hit it over the net, just over the yellow line.
Yeah, but this is the guy to do it, and I think Tim Corbin going with the lefty here with Gooden was the guy that can leave the yard. A lot of juice in the bat with Gooden.
First, I'll throw to second.
I think we can feel it in the stadium a little bit right now. It's still a 7-run game, but it is getting a little bit tighter in here. We're starting to see pinch hitters and pitching changes, and it seems to be getting a little bit tighter of a game even with the 7-run deficit.
Gooden for 3 for 4, the home run. Drove in 5 against Xavier in the midweek game.
And you mentioned it last year. You mentioned it, Drew, like last year, no shot would this be even an option. Like the ability to come back from this deficit would be really difficult to manufacture that many runs. But this year, I mean, yeah, you think you just get some guys on, give a couple home runs, and get right back in this thing. Just like that mindset to know that, hey, we've done it before, and you know, no reason to panic. We can continue to do it.
Intended to capture a pretty long conversation here with Brody Walls, the right-hander. Board umpire Kevin Sweeney comes out and says, all right, let's move along here. And maybe just buying time to get a pitcher ready in the bullpen. Ethan Walker has been getting loose in the Texas pen, so they'll bring on the lefty to pitch to the left-handed batting Tommy Gooden. All right, here comes Walker out of the pen. 7th inning in Nashville, getting interesting. Vanderbilt leading 11-4. Be right back. Junior left-hander Ethan Walker becomes the third pitcher used in the 7th inning by Jim Schlossnagel. Trying to get one last out, get the Longhorns to the dugout as he makes his 17th appearance. Terrific numbers on the season. One at a loss with a 2.19 ERA. And a cool handlebar mustache to go with.
Oh, yeah. That thing's waxed on the ends for sure.
I don't know that I've seen that in college baseball, at least not recently.
It's a little extra curl at the end.
The Raleigh fingers look. Walker, the left-hander, pitching to Tommy Gooden.
And with Walker, you're going to see a low slot, so almost like sidearm action. So because of that, you're going to see a lot of two-seam action. You're going to see a lot of arm side kind of sink. Not a lot of straight stuff coming out of the hand of Walker.
And when I see a pitcher like Walker, who's got 16 appearances on the year, 12-ish innings pitched, less than 1 inning per outing, like that tells me, okay, this guy's got one job to do, and he's gonna bear down on lefties like Gooden here. That's what they count on him for.
One strike. Gooden takes away.
He's got the mustache and also the tweener socks. I mean, he is rocking a look up there.
One and one. 1 with runners at first and second. Gooden fights off a pitch to the screen, 1-2. Doc Holliday had a cool handlebar mustache also.
He sure did. Some may say he was the original, you know?
Tommy Gooden leaning away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 8th man to bat in the Vanderbilt 7th. Dylan Valent has cruised through 6 innings, allowing only 1 run. Vanderbilt trying to find some footing here in the late innings. 2-2 pitch, full count.
As a hitter right here, it's real important to just stay through the middle of the field. When you got that left-on-left matchup, especially the arm angle from Walker, you kind of want to cheat and get those hips going, but you really got to stay through the middle of the field.
Payoff pitch. Ball 4. They are loaded as Walker misses outside. The pinch hitter Gooden works a walk. Holcomb goes to third and Barcy to second. Riker Wade batting right-handed against the left-hander. 9th man to bat here in the Vanderbilt 7th.
And I think that's an example of what I was talking about earlier about it's a 7-run game still, but it just feels a little bit tighter than that. Is you've got a left-on-left matchup, but you're not totally attacking him and going right at him. You're pitching a little bit more like it's a 2, 3, 4-run game. Looks like we're going to have a 3rd pitching change this inning.
Ethan Walker staying this game as a short one. He faces 1 man. The pinch hitter Tommy Gooden issues a walk. Access to the first base dugout. Leaves the game with the bases loaded. Thomas Burns, the junior right-hander. Quick check of the glove. And on to the Hawkins Field mound. 7th inning in the Music City. Texas trying to get 1 more out as they bring in Thomas Burns, the junior. Big dude at 6'3" and 240 out of Wisconsin. On for the 13th time here in 2026. Hard thrower. He'll face Riker Wade, who will turn around to bat left. Guy they call the Polar Bear. Preseason 13 All-America by Baseball America. Again, Texas is trying to get that last out. Vanderbilt has sent 8 men to the plate already. Riker Wade will be 9. 3 runs have scored, all on home runs in this inning. Riker Wade will come up with the bags full. Came up in this situation on Tuesday and left the yard. Lined one out of here to right for Vanderbilt's 7th grand slam of 2026. I was trying to come up with a fun, like, grand slam type nickname for this team, like Slamderville or something like that.
Yeah, there's been a lot. I mean, the amount that we saw within like the first 3 or 4 weeks was astounding. They've just continued to leave the yard. But against Burns, there's some big-time velo coming out of the arm. I mean, it's up there, 97, 98.
With 2 outs and the bases loaded, the pitch to Wade is a strike.
And of course, as I say, they throws a little changeup in there.
Right. Yeah, only 86 in that first delivery. A bunch of power for Waite. Fatty shortstop. To the screen and quickly 0-2. That fastball at 97. Holcomb at third, Barcy second, and Gooden at first, drawing a 2-out walk. Base hit gets you at least a couple runs closer here. Vanderbilt has been down big throughout the night. Pulled, first base side, foul ball. Down 11-0 going to the 6th. Vanderbilt with a run in the 6th and 3 more in this inning. 2-strike count to Waite. Burns brings it, and Waite is out on strike. So Thomas Burns out of the bullpen and does the job as he strikes out Waite with the bases loaded, but a little bit of damage done for Vanderbilt. Corbin Reynolds, a 2-run shot to left. And that was Mike Mancini, 1 out later, a no-doubter to right. We played 7, Vanderbilt down 7. 11-4, Vanderbilt trying to chip away at a big lead for Texas. A lot of home runs in this game tonight. Texas with 4 of them. Vanderbilt has hit 2. The man leading off this 8th inning has a pair of homers himself, Aiden Robbins. We'll see Robbins and Tenney and then Pack. Top of the order for Texas coming up in the 8th. It's Tristan Bristow who turned in a rare clean frame for Vanderbilt back in the 7th. Been a long time since he's been on the mound. Through multiple Texas pitching changes in the bottom of the 7th. Updated numbers for Robbins. Goodness. 2 for 4 tonight. Snyder stays inside, 2-0. Vandy and Texas facing off in Nashville for the first time since 1907. Inside, leans him away, 3 balls and no strikes. Four-pitch walk to Robbins. Maybe not the worst thing that could happen. And he heads on down to first. Leadoff base runner for the Longhorns as Carson Tenney comes up.
I agree. A good thought to pitcher on Robbins there, but unfortunately for Vanderbilt, it doesn't get any easier with these next 3 guys, let alone the 5 after them.
Yeah, Tenney is outstanding in his own right. Hits it his first 2 times up, strikeouts the next 2. 2 out of 4. Feels like the crowd here is a little bit more vocal than what we typically have.
I don't know where our microphone is, but that one fan is just wearing them out.
It's Eagles night, as you can see behind the plate. Concert is a week from Saturday. Inside to Tenney. Just a little trouble with the control. 5 straight out of the strike zone.
Well, cross up there.
You don't see that happen as much anymore with the pitch com.
As a catcher, though, I mean, your heart just sinks when you're expecting the shape and speed of something, and it's totally different.
I would say especially when you're expecting a breaking pitch and you get the fastball.
Yes. Oh, man.
The worst cross-up I ever saw, which I think was, it might have been 2014. It was supposed to be Carson Fulmer was pitching. Supposed to be a curveball. Catcher thought it was going to be a curveball, so stayed down. It was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball that sailed over his head and hit the umpire square in the mask, and he fell straight back. And I thought, oh my goodness, I witnessed a death. I mean, knocked the umpire out.
Wow.
But because it was a cross-up. But everyone was okay. Everyone was okay. But it was wild. Yeah, 98 just straight to the mask.
Wow. Bristow battling back after falling behind. A full count here to Tenney. Robbins stays put over at first, and it is ball 4. So the first 2 reaching on walks as Tenney goes to second.
Drew, we've talked multiple times about the pitch comp system and how we kind of missed the 3-sign system. You know, with you got to get the 3 signs. Look at your armband. I mean,
Kids these days, you know, they don't know what we used to have to go through.
On the other hand, I think Drew would have flourished with the pitch comp system.
For sure.
I liked calling pitches. You know, it's a way to strategize and keep your mind in the game. And Derek Johnson was the pitching coach here at the time, and Kurt Casale and I would go into meetings with him every Friday afternoon, like on a day like today, and would walk through the lineup with him. And he always had the right to overrule us or to signal in a pitch if, let's say, there's 2 runners on, 2-2 count, 2 outs. The pitch is probably coming from him. But it was cool for him to give us that authority and to trust us to say, hey, if you guys put in the work here with me beforehand and you know your pitchers, then I will allow you guys to do this because I trust you guys.
Anthony Pack on base twice, 2 hits and 4 times up, and he scored 2 runs.
Do you think now it's more so, hey, we have so much data at our disposal that we can make a decision and relay that to you? I mean, you don't have all this stuff in front of you. You just go out there and execute. But I'm with you, Drew. Like, to be able to have that kind of one-on-one with your pitcher, you don't really get that anymore.
And I've had some coaches tell me too, hey, you know, my job's on the line when I'm with these pitches and these decisions. So if that's how it is, I want that coming from me. And like respect to that too. And like you said, they've got all the data and the sheets in front of them. But it's always good to have some healthy back and forth, I think. And going back to, again, Derek Johnson, our pitching coach, back in the day, he would always say to the pitchers, hey, I'm going to call something for you, or your catcher is, but you're the one throwing it. So you have to have the confidence. And if you don't have confidence in what I'm saying, you better make a different decision. He'd always add a caveat, though, and say, but if you're going to overrule me, it better be a good one.
You better be right. Your success rate better be pretty high. Well, it is a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Anthony Pack, who saw Tristan Bristow land a nice slider. Get ahead in the count here. Runners at first and second with nobody out. Back-to-back walks to begin the 8th for Texas. Two and two. But Adrian Rodriguez waiting to bat next. He has had a couple hits, make it 3 times. And one of them was a home run to center. Bristow's 2-2 was close. Tried to get the call on the breaking pitch, but it's a full count. Don't figure the runners be going, especially with the left-hander up at the plate. Full count with nobody out. They stay put. Fly ball to right. Holcomb waits and catches. Pack is retired on a 3-2 pitch for the first out. Here is Rodriguez. He has 3 out of 4 on the night. A single in the 3rd, RBI single in the 5th, and a 2-run bomb in the 6th. That of the 6 home runs we've seen tonight was one of the more impressive ones. Launched it just to the left of the batter's eye in center field. Well, he checked the runner in. A throw back with Robbins stepping back. For all the power we've talked about with Texas, you look at the top few in their batting order, they have some really impressive steal numbers on the season. 2 out of 3 against Alabama last weekend. The game they lost was just a good pitcher's duel on Sunday. Trying to score a 12th SEC win. Vanderbilt right at 500. Two-ball count here to Rodriguez, the shortstop.
And there's a lot of teams throughout the SEC that are, you know, at 500 or just above, just below. So still, including this weekend, 4 weekends to play, a lot still can shake out there.
Yeah, Tim Corbin, I think he called it a fist fight in a phone booth, but it's, you know, you look at the standings. Vanderbilt 11th in the SEC at 9-9 entering tonight's play. 1 game out of 4th and a game and a half out of 13th. One weekend can definitely make a difference. Well, Bristow needing a strike, couldn't get it. Now the bases are loaded with 1 out. Conference standings in the SEC. You see Texas not far from the top. Vanderbilt middle of the pack. Whole bunch of teams with 10 wins.
Yeah, I mean, you look at from Florida all the way down to, you know, Kentucky, Tennessee, a couple weekends, those all could just flip-flop. It's just every weekend, day in, day out, is just so difficult throughout this conference. But, man, yeah, you look at Georgia there at the top. They have been playing some really good baseball.
Commodores to the bullpen. Saw a sidewinder for Texas. We'll see one for Vanderbilt. Jacob Faulkner in out of the Commodore bullpen. Trying to get a couple outs. The bases loaded here in the 8th. We'll be right back. Senior right-hander Jacob Faulkner, who is the midweek starter for Vanderbilt this week. He went 4 1/3 against Xavier, allowing 1 earned run with 3 hits through 78 pitches on Tuesday. Back out here on Friday night for appearance number 12. A couple wins on his ledger here in 2026. Will inherit a bases loaded with 1 out situation, and second baseman Ethan Mendoza coming up. An 11-4 game. Texas led 11-0. Vanderbilt put some runs up in the 6th and 7th inning. A couple home runs helping the Commodores' cause. That guy has done the whole bulk of the damage for Texas tonight. A pair of home runs in the 3rd and 4th innings. Aiden Robbins.
And for Faulkner, I mean, not a lot of time to find the zone. You got to come in and just go straight in there with the sidewinder from the right side. Got to make sure that thing's dialed in. A lot of movement on every single one of his pitches. The fastball is kind of labeled as a sinker, but because it's coming from that angle, it almost has some ride to it up in the zone. It's a funky pitch.
Delivers a strike to start this appearance. Love a double play ball with Mendoza coming in at 1 out of 4 on the night. A single and scored in the 5th. The other 3 times up have been ground outs to Brody Johnston. Like about the same pitch,
yeah,
but 1-1.
Yeah, it looked like 2 sliders right in a row that time, just a little bit off the plate.
One and 2 to the Texas second baseman. Faulkner, the transfer from Princeton, where he was a 3-time All-Ivy League selection. Lays off a pitch away, 2-2. Two, trying to take it down the right field line. Foul ball. Everybody back and ready for a 2-2 pitch with 1 out. Bags full for Texas.
Ooh.
And that was a foul ball that was close to a hit batsman.
You see the smile there from Mendoza, and that just shows you how much this ball is moving. To make a swing on that ball and for it to come up and almost hit your face. Actually, it did hit his shoulder.
Got a piece of the bat, then the shoulder.
I don't know if we were closer to a hit batsman or a strikeout
or
a foul ball there.
There are a lot of possibilities there on that pitch. Full count. With one out, 3-2 pitch in the air, right side. Short right field, Mancini ranging out. Runners will have to hold their bases. Mendoza flies out, 2 gone.
Always good to have a little infield fly action in a baseball game.
I saw the signal go up.
Yeah, big out there for Faulkner.
Timo Becerra will come to the plate now with 2 outs and the bases loaded. You don't see infield fly rule around Braves fans, though, right?
I may or may not have been at that game, Kevin.
I was thinking you were. In there for a strike.
That was the first ever 1-game wild card, I believe.
Man. You didn't like throw anything on the field or anything like that, did you?
You know, I can't honestly sit here with you all and say, no, I did not.
Oh, okay. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
But it may or may not have crossed my mind as an impressionable, 23, 24-year-old at that time.
1 for 3-9 for Becerra as Faulkner tries to close it out here in the 8th and leave them loaded outside 1-2. Called, 3rd strike. Good job by Jacob Faulkner. Gets a pop-up and a strikeout, and Texas leaves the bases loaded. Middle of the 8th in the Music City. Bottom of the order coming up with Texas leading Vanderbilt 11-4. A live look on the Texas dugout. 4th-ranked Longhorns leading Vanderbilt 11-4. The bottom of the 8th coming up. It'll be Rustin Rigdon, Corbin Reynolds, and Will Hampton, and Texas has gone to the hammer. Here is Sam Cozart, the freshman closer, 6'6" and 260 from North Carolina, the SEC co-freshman of the week. 5-0, half dozen saves. Couple of those were last weekend against Alabama, and this dude, guys, just been excellent for Texas.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I mean, the ball is coming from a really high arm angle. I mean, really good pitch package, little fastball, cutter, slider, curveball, more 12-6, and use the changeup every now and then. But yeah, you see the strikeout to walk ratio, 49 strikeouts to only 7 walks. This is their closer, and he's trying to shut the door here.
I didn't think we would see Sam Cozart tonight, but this was Volantis to Cozart was very successful for Texas last Friday night, and they're going to try to replicate that tonight, albeit with a couple of additional pitchers in the middle innings there.
Jaden Duplantier goes into play right field, and Pack goes over to left. Anthony made some plays in right and slides over to left field in place of Larson. Rustin Rigdon is 1 out of 3 on the night, a double and scored in the 7th. He was on base when Corbin Reynolds homered. Dylan Volantis for the first 6. Long only 1 run. Texas has used 5 pitchers since then, including Cozart. And in the count here, no balls and 2 strikes against Rigdon. Rigdon, Reynolds, Hampton coming up. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Rigdon heads back to the dugout, 1 out.
Yeah, let's look at the curveball right here. It's pretty tight and just goes right underneath the bat. It's a heck of a pitch.
Well, Texas, after 49 strikeouts in last weekend's series against Alabama, 13 tonight to begin this series against Vanderbilt. Corbin Reynolds, 1 out of 3, including a 2-run homer. Trying for another one there. Swing and a miss. Kozar's been a guy they have used plenty. 3 innings last week against Alabama in game 1. Came right back and got another save. Game 2 on Saturday. Or they're asking Jim Schlossnagle after that game 1 last Friday night, said, are you going to be able to bring Kozar back tomorrow? I said, yeah, he's good to go. Breaking ball stays inside. 2-1 the count with Reynolds at the plate.
It's interesting that very first pitch fastball, Kozar really blew Reynolds away. So I'm surprised for him to go breaking ball right after that.
Up and in and fought it off. 2-2.
I kind of changed the eye angle with the breaking ball the last 2 pitches, and then came back with a little cutter up in the zone. We'll see if he tries to go back to the breaking ball here and try to get him to chase.
2-2. Another foul ball.
Tried to come back with a fastball. Reynolds able to foul it off. Good little battle here.
Pitch number 6 of this at bat with Reynolds up. Long look in. Into the timer. Fastball for strike 3.
And went back to the fastball, this time in a little bit more and elevated a little bit more and blew it right past Reynolds.
2 hitters, 2 strikeouts for right-hander Sam Kozar. Now we'll work to Will Hampton. 0 for 3 on the night. A line out to third, a strikeout, and a bounce out to short.
Andrew, you mentioned this at the top of the inning. Kozar's not going to walk you. No, I think he's saying, here's my stuff. Come and get it.
For sure.
And also you got a 7-run lead, and
that's right.
You can go right after him.
And I think you're seeing him pitch to the 7-run lead a little bit more than the parade of relievers did last inning in the 7th.
Vanderbilt had a real chance last inning, had the bases loaded with 2 outs. Get a little bit closer as Hampton fouls it off. Game 2 coming up tomorrow night. Ruger Riojas will be on the mound for Texas. Vanderbilt will likely use a variety of pitchers like we've seen in at least one game pretty much every weekend in SEC play. Worked out okay last weekend at Kentucky. It was a crazy game on Saturday, including some bad weather. One and 2 as Kozar tries to get the bottom of the batting order in order. Pitch stays high, 2-2. Kozar with a 2-2 to Hampton. He's staying alive. After the big game on Sunday, got another start on Tuesday in left field and made a great catch in there again tonight. Kozar ready for another 2-2. Hampton continues to spoil him.
Yeah, when that fastball's down in the zone, some of these hitters can at least foul them off. When that fastball gets a little bit elevated, it just makes that fastball a little bit faster. It's harder to get to the barrel to it.
Long drive left field, but coming in not too long. Pack stalled on left, makes the catch. Off the bat, looked a little deeper, but 3 up, 3 down for Vanderbilt in the 8th. 11-4 the count with the 9th inning on the way in Nashville. Top of the 9th in Nashville. Texas 11, Vanderbilt 4. 4th-ranked Longhorns, 4 home runs tonight. They were ahead 11-0. Vanderbilt tried to trip away in the 6th and 7th innings. So we reached the 9th. Kevin Ingram, Andrew Harris. Great to have Drew Fan with us tonight. Doug Stanton, our entire SEC Network crew. First of 3, Vandy and Texas. First time in over 100 years they played here in Nashville. I got to say, I was impressed that they had records of the games in 1900. I looked up, they played a little 2-game series, split them. Jacob Faulkner deals first hit pitch to Jaden Duplantier. Saw him going in right field last half inning.
Wonder how that bus ride was back in 1907 from Austin.
Might have been a train ride. Soft liner into the glove of Mancini, 1 out.
He left on Tuesday.
To play
Got here
on
for a
Saturday.
Sunday game.
Yep. Casey Borba, the hitter. Driven in 2 runs tonight. Got a bunt down in the 4th and an RBI single in the 5th. Jacob Faulkner tied all 3 hitters he has faced so far.
It's a good part of the lineup to bring him in with his right-on-right effectiveness. 4th righty in a row. Got Livingston on deck, be a lefty, and then 2 more righties, top of the lineup, Robbins and Tinney after that.
It's always good to have a sidewinder in the pen, you know? Switch up the looks a little bit. It's just a funky angle.
Y'all were talking about calling pitches earlier in PitchCom. You know, Brian Harris, or excuse me, not your brother, sorry, Brian Harris, Brian Miller, who was a teammate of ours also, along with Brian Harris, threw sidearm, but also could go over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had more pitches than I had fingers.
Yeah.
And so we had to come up with a different type of system for the catcher to relay on what the pitch was, but then also, did you want to go overhand or did you want to go with the sidearm slot?
Two popped up on the infield behind second base. Mancini calls and catches. 2 outs.
Yeah, I will say for, you know, facing a lot of different guys in inter squad, I mean, faced some of the better arms like to come through Vanderbilt. You think of guys like Sonny Gray, you know, Kevin Zomack. I would say the hardest guy to face was Brian Miller. I mean, it was the weirdest ball coming out, especially his slider, like unhittable. And the reason why he held the saves record for so long.
That's right.
I was thinking about Drew and these other set of signals. We like to take the catcher's mitt off, and I got to.
Yeah. So what was it? Like, was it a hey, here's a fastball, and then if I want to go over top, or where? What was the second sign?
I think it was a second sign. So it would have been like 1 would have been a fastball, and then a 5 after that would have meant come over the top. Because I think standard was his sidearm, but there was a second signal, which made it more confusing when a guy's on second base and you're giving multiple signs. So then you had to go to night signs or something like that. All that to say, technology normally makes things easier. I think PitchCom has achieved that.
Yeah, now we can say fastball over top. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
I wonder if you can choose the voice. You know, like on Google Maps,
100%.
Waze, you know.
Yeah.
I wonder if like Batman can signal that in for you.
2-1 the count to Josh Livingston. Hit a 3-run homer back in the 5th. 1 for 4. Swinging a miss. 2-2. Commodores using the shift with 2 outs in the 9th. An 11-4 game with Texas leading. Faulkner. He didn't get the baseball. They complete the strikeout. Jacob Faulkner did his job. He retired all 5 he faced. Vanderbilt needs 7 to get even. It will be tough. Texas leading 11-4. 9th inning in Nashville. Don't go away. Last chance for Vanderbilt, bottom of the 9th coming up, trailing Texas 11-4. Longhorns jumped in front 11-0 before Vanderbilt got going in the 6th and 7th. Sam Cozart in there to try to close it out. Dylan Valantes was fantastic for 6 innings for Texas, in line to pick up his 6th win, allowed only 1 run. They're checking on the catcher, Tenney.
I don't know if Mancini on his bringing his bat back might have made contact with him on his shoulder or something.
Yeah, I wondered the same thing. I didn't see what happened, but then I saw Mancini talking to him, and you could tell he's kind of saying, hey, you okay? He hit a mammoth home run out of here in the 7th inning. Scored 2 runs, 2 for 4 tonight.
Whew, the ball's got some movement now. As 93 started off in the middle part of the plate and just ran on the outside part.
There's probably a good chance that this is not the last time that the top of this lineup will face Cozart this weekend. So a really good chance for them to get some swings in, get some looks in for the Saturday and the Sunday games here.
Yeah, because you can see everything you want on film, but until you really get in that box, see the shape of the breaking ball, see that fastball out of the hand, it's a totally different look. And so you're totally right. Just getting those looks here early.
Strike 3 called. Mancini out to start the 9th. 3rd strikeout recorded by Cozart, and 15 for Texas pitching tonight.
Yeah, that's some tight spin right there, outside corner. You see 15 Ks on the night for Texas.
One last chance for Brody Johnston to extend his hit streak. He is 0 for 4 tonight.
We talked about Texas's pitching staff striking out 49 guys last weekend against Alabama. And I don't know if they can strike out 49 more this weekend, but 15 strikeouts with 2 to play on night 1 is a pretty good way to start it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had 19 in one of those games last weekend. 17 in game 1, 19 in game 2, and 13 more in game 3. Right back this way. 0-2. One out deep in the bottom half of the 9th inning. An 0-2 count to Johnston. Cozart. Johnston launches left field toward the monster. And caught. Pack, another nice play. Made one in right field earlier in the game, this time in left. And Vanderbilt's down to its last out.
And it's just the little cutter action that goes off the end of the bat. And a nice job by Pack tracking that to the wall and making the play.
Braden Holcomb. Right on the fastball, fouls it straight back. Same two teams tomorrow night. It'll be a 7 o'clock Central Time start. That game will be on the SEC Network. Then Sunday at noon on ESPN2. TV coverage. One for tonight with 2 walks for Holcomb. Down a strike. In the air right field, should wrap it up. Plantier coming in, makes the catch, and Texas takes game 1, 11-4. 4 home runs for the Longhorns, 2 off the bat of Aiden Robbins. And on the season, Dylan Volantis now is 6-0. Their 5th SEC road win. Texas has played well no matter where they've played in SEC play, but guys, really impressive performance tonight.
Yeah, I think if they needed to keep the train moving, they was going to start with Volantis, and he gave them a heck of a start, and that offense just continues to roll too.
This is exactly how Texas drew up the Friday night game on the road in Nashville. They came in here to Hawkins Field and took care of business tonight, Kevin.
For Andrew Harris, Drew Fan, our producer Doug Stanton, our whole SEC Network crew, Kevin Ingram saying good night from Nashville. Game 2 coming up tomorrow night. Texas takes game 1, 11-4. Presentation of the SEC Network.